Dolphins Norman Powell and Robert Covington to Los Angeles. Blazers in the deal, receiving Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second-round pick. Trade first reported on by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. NBA trade deadline comes next Thursday. Nets and Jazz in Utah tonight. James Harden ruled out for Brooklyn due to left hamstring tightness. Nets have dropped 6 in a row. Donovan Mitchell expected to make his return tonight for Utah after missing the previous 8 games. A suspect arrested Thursday night in connection to the altercation that left a 49ers fan in a medical coma. Incident taking place during last weekend's NFC Championship game. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano, his thoughts today on the Jaguars hiring of Doug Peterson.
Well, quite a journey, the Jaguars coaching search. It started with Doug Peterson and ended with Doug Peterson 5 weeks later. Look, I mean, Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach that they feel can work with Trevor Lawrence, help develop Trevor Lawrence, and whatever questions he had about them, he got answered to his satisfaction.
Our Dan Graziano today on Get Up.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode. Baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you
I'm
need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Why are you here early? Let everybody know.
I'm a hooligan. I'm a hooligan tonight, baby.
Oh, you're a soccer hooligan.
Soccer hooligan
I got
tonight.
you. Little soccer hooligan action there.
Second round playoff game tonight.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Down in DeBerry.
DeBerry?
There's a conflict right now too.
What does that mean?
The Dunham Tigers.
Yeah.
Women's soccer team. Advanced. They advanced.
I think it's girls. I think they call it girls soccer in high school.
Depends on how old you are.
Well, I think they call it girls soccer in high school.
I'd call it women's.
I don't think.
I live with 2 of them. They're women.
I mean,
I'm just going to be honest with you without going into detail. Regardless, female soccer.
Why?
Female soccer.
Why would you?
Tonight.
Why would you want to do that?
In New Iberia.
Why would you do that?
We're advancing to the second round here. The Dunham female soccer team.
The girls soccer. Why is this hard?
The Dunham
You're
girls
making this harder than it needs to be.
Soccer team.
It's the girls soccer team, man. That's all you say.
Last week they beat. Actually, Monday this week they beat the crap out of Vermilion Catholic. Take that, you bunch of clowns.
Yeah, I saw Macy Theriot had a goal, assisted by Georgia Theriot.
So cool, yeah.
And Georgia Theriot had a goal.
Assisted.
By Macy? Yeah. No.
I mean, it was on a deflection, but technically, like, she kicked it, then it deflected,
good.
and then.
So does that count as an assist?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I'm counted as an assist.
I don't know anything about soccer, actually, so I don't know if it counts or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Let's go with it. It counts.
So we got second round.
Totally
We're taking
counts.
on. Well, there's an issue though. There is an issue. They're
What's
the
issue?
The Catholic Eye Panthers are the number 1 seed in the state.
This is Catholic of New Iberia.
Of New Iberia.
Yeah, you need to clarify that.
Yep. Catholic High of New Iberia Panthers are the number 1 seed in the state. So it may be, it's going to be a tough game for the Lady Tigers, but
the Dunham Tigers.
But I'm turning up. Hence the hoodie. Check it.
Well, this is radio, so they can't see your hoodie.
We're not. This isn't like.
We're on YouTube as well, but
YouTube's that's a big platform.
Our radio platform is far larger than the
Okay,
the
so for
people
those of you
watching.
that aren't watching on YouTube, I've got on a Dunham hoodie. I'm repping.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Big time. And I hope the CFO and all the people in the admissions office know that I'm wearing this hoodie. There's some value there.
You're gonna freeze.
There could be some value there. I don't know.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that maybe you should get a?
I'm just saying
a discount.
I'm just saying there could be some value with me
tuition
wearing
discount?
this and people seeing it and hearing me talk about Dunham all the time and how great it is. I mean, there could be some value there. I don't know.
I talk about Catholic High all the time. I don't think my parents get a retroactive tuition discount. I don't think they're getting reimbursed.
And that's just your bad though. Like you're just circumstantial. You know what I mean? So I just so happen to be in a better spot there. That
I know.
May or may not.
I mean, you're right. Stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. But all in all, it's been a really good week. Like I said, we got the victory on Monday.
Yeah.
It's really great stuff happening with HUDCO that I'm sure you're going to talk about later on.
Yeah, you're only here for 30 minutes.
I'm not here for long today.
Because you got to get to the Berry.
Headed down south, baby.
To the Berry.
Southwest. Yeah.
Why did you changed your Twitter profile picture?
What is it?
Avatar? Did you change it? No,
I don't know.
No, maybe you didn't change it. No, never mind. Okay.
Is it me kissing Georgie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's been there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Okay. Oh, your Instagram is the one where you're like in a lounge chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got it. I was going to your profile page to find the video of. Here it is. Here's the goal. Let's see it. Let's show everybody the goal. Here we go. Oh, Paul doesn't have my screen.
Thanks, Paul.
What's that?
It's
Paul's
my
fault?
one kid's moment to shine.
It's not Paul's fault. It's certainly not Paul's fault. It's the fact that nothing in the studio ever works. Hence you fighting with the chair when you first said it.
It's very uncomfortable. My back hurts right now too.
I say. I'm trying to tell y'all. All right, go ahead.
So, but they did have something happen this week that kind of got under my skin a little bit, and I'd like to share it with you guys. This would be, it has to do with National Signing Day and all that stuff.
Okay, I'd like to hear it.
So I wrote a letter to Jimbo Fisher.
Okay.
Who's a coach over at Texas A&M, the Aggies.
Okay.
Dear Yimbo Fisher.
Yimbo.
Yeah.
You went with the soft J.
Yimbo Fisher.
Yimbo.
You've had an average at best coaching career up to this point. From Sanford to Auburn, from Auburn to Cincinnati.
Literally had a Hall of Fame coaching career.
Then a stop in Death Valley where you were elevated to a legit head coaching candidate for a Power 5 job. Florida State came calling. It was a great job at the time. You screwed that up, then you headed east.
You won a national championship there.
He left it in shambles.
That's the biggest misnomer ever.
Left it in
so
shambles.
Stupid when
they
people
stink.
say
When
that.
he left, now they stink. Then you headed east. You bolted for College Station, where you've been the past 4 seasons. During those 4 seasons, you've grossly underachieved after reeling off top recruiting class after top recruiting class. The billionaire oil guys have always spent money at A&M, but now it's legal to pay players, so of course you bought the highest ranked recruiting class ever.
Ever. Not mad at him either.
No, that's what it is. I guess you've gotten a pass because you have a cool accent, and for the most part, you've run a clean program. It's true. But at some point, people are going to have to start calling a spade a spade. You're not a very good coach. Now that we've established that you really aren't that good, let's talk about the blatant lies you told in your press conference addressing the NIL situation.
Now we can talk about that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Let me hear
It's
that.
legal now,
Yeah.
Yimbo. Rich guys and gals can literally pay a player whatever they deem they're worth for a deliverable that can range from a social media post to an autographed picture.
Yeah.
You can give a college athlete today $1 million in exchange for an appearance and a picture. Whatever we, the business owner, deem the value of said deliverable is, we can pay that. We set the market value, we pay the players, and we receive the deliverable. So, for you to sit up there with your glasses half pulled down, with your stupid accent, calling out other coaches for poo-pooing your class this year is just ridiculous. Of course, your billionaire oil friends have paid for this class. Of course, some super wealthy landowner decided he was going to pay players to maybe win a title for the Aggies. Newsflash, Yimbo. Everyone is doing it. It's how it's done now. And you are fortunately at a school that has a ton of money. So yes, you're going to get players. The problem you're having is it takes away from the actual recruiting aspect. They aren't coming because you're any good. They aren't coming in hopes of winning a title or being developed by some guru football coach for the NFL. They're definitely not coming because College Station is some awesome place to live.
That's the biggest.
They're not doing that.
All of a sudden, the College Station became the French Riviera. Yeah. You got more 5 stars in this class than all of his previous classes combined. Coming off an 8 and 4 year.
What are we doing?
Why are they gonna say we pay players?
Because you're paying players. But guess what?
It's okay,
Everybody
man.
is,
It's
Yimbo.
okay.
That's what we do.
We're not mad about it. It's okay.
That's how it works now.
That's the rule.
You pay the player.
Good for you.
A couple $100K. He puts a tweet out. That's legal now.
It's why you went there. They got money and resources. Good.
I don't think he understands it, Matt. They're coming because you're boosters.
Clowns. It's clown show.
That's it. Clown show.
Clown show.
The players are coming, Yimbo, because your boosters are paying more than the other school's boosters to the player.
Right.
My 2 daughters, Macy and Georgia, they could be your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator next season. And we could have announced that, and it could be national media. You've got a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old, and you would still get the same players.
Yes.
This year. Yes. They would still go to Texas A&M.
By the way, here we got the video now. Here we go. Here it is. There's the assist.
There's the chip
from Macy.
Chip from Macy.
Here
Georgia's
it is.
In. She's in.
Georgia.
She's in.
There she goes. Breaks free.
Don't do it to her.
Oh, the goalie goes. That's just goal.
That's how you do it. Yep.
Here's the instant replay.
Look at little Georgie.
Little Georgie Porgy. Had herself a foot injury this year. Battled back.
Broken foot.
Got her a goal.
Battled through.
Got her goal in the playoffs. A girl. Little Georgie Porgy.
There's another one. Pull the other one up.
That's the only one you have on your Twitter.
No, it's not.
It is the only one you have on your Twitter.
I don't think so. Macy's got one too. I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, it's not yours. It's John's.
Let's do this one.
All right, here we go. Mason Terrell!
There we go.
All right, let's watch the instant replay. For all the people listening.
Look at Georgie chipped it in.
Georgie.
Nice.
To Macy. Let's go! And for all the people listening who have no idea what we're doing, we're showing highlights of Theriot's daughter scoring in a soccer playoff game.
Sick.
So good.
My last point in this letter, though, but seriously, it's true. Macy and Georgia could be the coaches.
The coaches at A&M?
They could.
Yeah.
And then Jonna and Erica could be their assistants.
Okay.
And they would still get the same players. You want to know why? Because you paid them more money.
Paying the money.
That's it, Yimbo. You're not that good. Here's the thing. You're not that good. You never really were. But it doesn't matter now. So just embrace that. If I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut. I would just coach football, and I would let the legal bag man do the talking with their checkbooks. Sincerely, Ryan.
The legal bag man. That's what they are.
That's what they are. That's what they are.
See, Rivals named one of Texas A&M staff members the National Recruiter of the Year. He's the legal bag man.
Who's the rich guy over there that's doing it all, you think?
I don't know.
Okay, that's the recruiter. That's the guy.
It's not singular. That's the issue.
There's got to be one dude, and he's the recruiter of the year. Like for Baton Rouge, who's the guy? You know who the guy is. Who's our best recruiter right now?
On the staff? Oh, Gordon.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they say you got to recruit your current players. You got to keep them, recruit them to stay. I mean, G's the guy.
He's the guy right
He
now.
should be up for that.
He's the one. He's getting them.
I'm nominating him for that.
Let's nominate him for 247 and Rivals.
I'd vote for G.
Mm-hmm. Get it done.
Get Gordon, get it done.
All right.
Actually, the shirt says get your lawyer.
Get your lawyer. Get it done.
I ain't mad at him. I appreciate it.
I will say this definitively. Without Gordon McKernan, Kayshon Boutte is an Alabama receiver. Right?
He gone.
He is an. It is Alabama receiver Kayshon Boutte today, if not for Gordon.
Right. And there's probably others.
There will be others coming too.
Attaboy, G.
All right, it's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Of course, Darren and his entire team. If you go to the website, tap Agents at the top, you'll see everybody listed there on Darren's team. So many great real estate professionals, award-winning real estate professionals that'll treat you right, do right by you to make sure that you get that home of your dreams or the best price on your home if you're selling. Agent225.com, agent225.com. Working with Darren James is an experience unlike any other in real estate. You need to call Darren James. There's a reason he's the number one realtor in Louisiana, the number one real estate team in Louisiana. He's also among the top 1% of realtors in America on the Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list. I tell you all of that because you know the accolades are there, but the reason they're there is because Darren James has a way of making you feel like you are his only client. 335-7666 for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, the Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
Hey, what's going on at Bowie right now? They selling stuff?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. They got everything's got to go.
All of it?
Yeah, the hunting season's over. Well,
all the stuff has got to go.
A couple areas.
You let that go, Muse. Please.
A couple areas you can still do the primitive.
PNC.
And all that stuff. But now is the time to get into Bowie Outfitters. They always have great sales going on, but now it's even better because they got to clear everything out. 2022 get ready for the hunting season coming up this fall. Fishing stuff, it's all in. Rods, reels, bait, you name it. Sunglasses, they got the whole deal. Check it out at Marucci. Don't shop the big box stores.
No, why would you do that?
Don't do that. Right, this is a locally owned company. We love those guys. They've been great to us forever. Go to Bowie Outfitters first. Go check them out. Ask for Lee. Tell them that Ryan and Matt sent you. They'll hook you up.
I don't even hunt or fish, and I go to Bowie.
It's a great place. If you just want to go hang out and have a cup of coffee, you can do that.
Go hang out with Lee.
I bought some soap over there the other day.
Look at the duck decoys.
They got decoys.
I know they have decoys.
Yeah.
The hunting stands.
They got stands.
Yep.
And if you're not a hunter,
they got sunglasses.
If they're not a hunter, you can buy sunglasses there. Or a fisherman.
They got knives.
Boots. Flip-flops. Some really nice LSU apparel in there.
LSU. Camo LSU apparel.
Great camo LSU stuff.
Great camo stuff.
If you just are a gun owner, you like firearms, you like guns, they have all of that too.
Guns. Go get your guns.
Bow range. You've been there.
Go get your guns. Yes. Bow range. I have been there. Shot an arrow in the ceiling. True story. Hey, this is breaking news here. Breaking news. Hey! Courtesy of our good buddy Kendall Rogers. The NCAA Division I Committee for Legislative Relief has approved 2 blanket waivers. Roster size for spring of 23 will be 35 and may be up to 40 if a team has seniors who missed the 2020 season. And our roster counters are at 27, but can get up to 32 with the same parameters above. By the way, Jay Johnson's going to join us on the show in hour number 3. Terrio's got to get out of here after this segment because he's driving to New Iberia for the Dunham playoff soccer game. So wish the girls well. Hope they do great tonight. But looking forward to talking to Jay. Anything I should ask him? Okay, you can let me know later.
No, thanks for prepping me. I mean, I didn't know. You have to you got to tell me.
You know more about this team than literally anybody I know. Half the guys.
Is there anything I should ask him? Is a pretty general question.
Half the guys
I'm trying to give you a good answer.
You have trained at some point.
I'm just trying to give you a good answer to your question.
But you also know Jay, and you would know what he would be good to talk about.
I think
something he's passionate about. Something that would be a good nugget for our audience. It's not a hard question.
He's passionate about hitting. I mean, you could talk approach and what's going to be different from last year to this year. That's pretty general. What's going to happen at third and first base is something that's kind of up in the air.
Oh, really?
I mean, we've talked.
Isn't Barry going to play third?
You and I talked last year about Trey Morgan moving around, and he's moved around a little bit.
We talked about Morgan moving to the outfield, though.
Cade Beloso's had an unbelievable fall. They love where Cade is right now. Tate took a huge jump. I mean, he had his freshman year, he was phenomenal, kind of regressed a little bit. Now he's coming back and made some changes with the swing. The Pearson kid's a freak. He's got to swing the bat. So I mean, can you move
Beloso at first?
Can you move? Correct. Can you move Morgan somewhere else? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
What do you do with Barry?
I'm not the head coach. I don't get paid millions of dollars. Maybe does he go to third? Does he DH? I don't know. Like who plays where? I don't know. That'd be a good question. What are we going to do here? Who's playing shortstop?
Jordy. Got to be, right?
Maybe.
Who else? Ask the coach.
Doty? I don't know.
Oh.
Who's playing second?
Who's playing second? Trey Morgan can't play second.
Will Safford? Bianca?
Bianca
was hurt all fall. Okay, remember, this coaching staff didn't get to see him play. They've only seen him for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Right? And so they have video to go off, limited video because, whatever, wasn't in there a whole lot.
He was also playing some center field last year.
So he has had a great, couple weeks apparently. Now, does he get a look there at second base? There's some. I would go roster, position player roster would be my question. You
think he'll dish?
No, I don't.
Oh, damn it. Why not?
I just don't think he will. You have the SEC RBI leader coming back.
Yep.
You know, is he going to – what's that looking like? What's he –
How's he doing?
Yeah, I mean, where's he at?
Is that the guy who Hudco just signed, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
That's who that is?
He's a Hudco hometown hero, Gavin Dugas. Shout out, the boy. Little NIL piece.
Got that, huh? Yeah. Anybody else a Hudco hometown hero that we should mention?
Dylan Cruz.
Oh, really?
That's a good one. So Hudco hometown hero, NIL. There you go. Alexis Morris. I love Alexis Morris.
Really?
Women's basketball player. Kim Mulkey's squad. Who else we got? We got a couple more. Scroll down there. Oh, look at that. It's Micah Baskerville, Hudco hometown hero. Jack Besh.
Jack Besh?
Look, we just mentioned
Cade
Beloso.
Oh, Dylan Cruz. That's the guy you just mentioned.
Dylan Cruz, yep.
Cade Doty.
Cade Doty.
Wow. Gavin Dugas.
Gavin Dugas. You got Brady Hebert from Tulane.
Yeah.
Where'd he go to high school? I love Brady Hebert. He's my guy. Mikhail Hilliard, Central. Cameron Parker.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Northwestern State.
He's a guy. Mason Zambo, ULL. Where'd he go to school?
Lee Negrotto, all-conference tight end there at Nichols. He's a Hudco hometown hero. You want to know how that deal got done?
How'd that happen?
We replaced someone's roof. Said, hey, I'd like you to do an idea with Lee Negrotto. So we used a portion of our net profit at Hudco from that roofing job to do an NIL deal with the tight end from Nichols because that's what the homeowner wanted. That's how Hudco hometown heroes work. So you have to get your roof replaced, commercial or residential. Call us.
Or if you need gutters.
Or if you need gutters or all this stuff. Call us at Hudco. We'll take a portion of the net. We'll do an NIL deal with whoever you want.
We're giving it to the kids.
Any sport, any athlete, any school.
Yep.
Hudco Hometown Hero Program. That's a pretty good idea.
You know it is. I mean, what makes you different, right? You know, I mean, shingles are shingles.
Who came up with that idea?
I don't know. Some guy. Shingles are shingles,
Some
right?
kind
I
of
mean, it is what it is. But what makes you different? You know, we love the kids. If you have
love the
roofing
kids.
issues, call us.
We
We
love
love
the
the
kids.
kids. We're
We
trying to
love
give
the
back.
kids.
We love our
kids.
schools.
We're giving back. At school, we love kids.
364-1007. I got the number memorized now. Call
Good
us.
job.
That's right. Or you can go to HudcoRoofing.com and fill it out
you.
there. You know, or let me get my well, the 364 number actually goes right to my phone.
It does. If you call 364-1007, it will ring Ryan Terriot's cell right now because it rings our office and then it rings Tilly and Theriot. 364-1007. 364-1007. 364-1007 or HudcoRoofing.com.
Please call us.
Please call me right now.
Right. Please call us right now, right this very moment, with a giant roof that you want us to replace.
In particular, if you're like a giant apartment complex or if you're the mall. Let's do the roof at the mall.
If you're doing the work at the new Amazon building going up,
yes,
call me.
Let us do your roof.
I'd love to.
I would love to do that roof.
That's easy. I got that. No problem.
Yes. If the Mall of America is redoing their roof, would love to redo that roof. At the mall.
Or if Aunt Maud on Main Street needs a new roof, or thinks she might need a new roof, or has some damage, she can call.
Aunt Maud. Seriously underrated. Aunt Maud's a guy.
She's a dude.
She's a dude. She's a guy. Okay.
And you get you an autographed picture from the athlete of your choice, or whatever. That's what we do.
And if you don't call us, you can kick rocks. I was there.
It's now time to kick rocks
pause
with
for
Ryan
effect.
Terrio.
Kick rock.
Presented by Roto-Rooter Plumbing.
NBA can kick rock. It's so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Terrio actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Look at Cynthia and Eddie there. They called the asbestos health line.
I wonder if they need a roof.
Well, if they do, we could help them at
We sure
Hudco.
could. I'd love to help them.
Cynthia and Eddie.
I walked outside this
They're
morning.
guys.
Walked outside this morning. Didn't quite have my jacket all the way on, and rubbed my chest because there was something that was itching. So I kind of like scratched it, and I thought I scratched my hand because my nipple was so hard because it was freezing cold, and the cold weather and Mother Nature making my nipples hard all day long and making me wear Band-Aids can kick rocks.
You have Band-Aids on right now?
I did earlier. Took a shower. Now I'm good. I mean, come on. What's today? February what?
4th.
I mean,
February usually is the coldest month
It
here,
is.
right?
Can I shout out Austin Theriot? Happy late birthday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his birthday was yesterday, February 3rd.
He's a guy.
Uncle Austin.
What's up, Austin?
He's on his way to New Iberia right now to watch his nieces play.
That away, Austin.
Him and Poppy.
Austin, former Pluckers, maybe current Pluckers sports trivia participant. He was a regular on Tuesday Night Sports Trivia when your boy hosted back in the day.
He's a guy.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever won. Probably did at some point.
Well, he probably won like the beer drinking contest, if they have one of those.
No, there wasn't one of those.
So he's with Poppy. Poppy just retired. Andy.
How was the party?
It was great.
The dinner at Superior.
He
on
put the
Highway?
hat on his head. I thought he was going to punch somebody.
What a guy.
So we had a giant table.
Yeah.
A bunch of us.
Yeah.
They brought everybody's food out. You know it took a little while because it was a big order.
Yeah.
They forgot his.
Oh.
Yeah. But they didn't forget it. They just did it wrong. So we're all like.
Of all the people to screw up.
Yeah.
You could screw up anybody's order at the table, just not his.
No. He was, and I could tell he was a little heated, but he did well, man. He kept it in. I offered him some of my beans and rice. He's like, no, I'm good. I'll just wait. Shout out to the kitchen in the back. I mean, they got it immediately. They got it.
He's a guy. They got it.
I love Ryan's Family Steakhouse. I'm a fan. Any like buffet. So there's a Mexican joint over here, El Maguey. Shout out. Do yourself a favor. All right.
How do you spell it?
Magey.
Where is it?
It's on Seagan.
El Maggie?
No.
Is it by Los Amos?
Mm-hmm. McGay. And then they have, so any so Ryan's Family said, what's the other one?
El Maggie.
What's the
Ponchos.
other? Yeah, but not really a buffet.
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
It's by Golden Corral. Oh, El Maggie Mexican Buffet.
It's so good. If you go to one of these buffets and you drop the tongs all the way in the food, you can kick rocks.
Come on.
Kick rock.
You know what the worst about that is? When you try to lean it on the edge and then it slides in. It's hard.
If you go to one of these buffets and you scoop out your corn to put it on your plate and you sprinkle corn in the green beans or the mashed potatoes, you can kick rocks.
Kick rock.
Some people don't like corn.
What are you, 5 years old?
Or mashed but it happens. When you look at it, these people are just they're so irresponsible and rude.
It's the same people that come into this building every day and make coffee down on the first floor, and they open up their little sugar packet, and they leave the sugar granules everywhere.
Just hit it with your hand.
What I would like to do is be standing behind that person one time and punch them in the face.
Right in the nose.
I'd probably get fired for attacking a coworker, but it would be worth it just to punch that person in the face.
I would.
Because that person is rude and needs to be punched in the face. To be taught a lesson about their rudeness. If you were the person in this building who is opening up the sugar packets every day by the coffee pot, and you were leaving the granules everywhere, you're an a-hole.
Yep.
And I want to punch you in the face.
Yep, you deserve it too.
Who is it? Who is it, Muse? Is it you?
No, I don't drink coffee. So
Paul, is it you? It's not Paul.
I don't drink coffee as well.
Paul walks in every day with a smoothie. It ain't him, I know. And he's not here that time.
It's not Paul.
Someone who's here earlier than me. It's probably one of the morning show hosts.
Oh, sure.
Or Haldane.
Probably T-Bob.
It's either Haldane's producer, T-Bob.
You think it's Condon?
Condon doesn't drink coffee.
Condon would be more respectful than that
He
anyway.
would.
And he absolutely would.
Condon would clean it up.
Big C. Big C signed with Eagle 98.1 yesterday. I saw that. It was awesome. Congrats, Big C. Attaboy.
Boy, Big C.
4 more years. Boy, Big C.
Condon had did you see it? Condon had a faux, he staged a recruiting announcement down in the first floor conference room with a bunch of coworkers around him as he's thanking the man upstairs and
this is awesome.
And everybody.
Man. He got some tears too.
And he unbuttoned his shirt to reveal an Eagle 98.1 shirt.
He's so good.
He's so good. He's such an idiot.
No, he's the best.
He is the best, but he is so stupid.
And then the last one I got for you is so when you're in the drive-through line and the car in front of you doesn't pull all the way up, they have room to pull all the way up. You're trying to order your food and you're 6 feet away from ordering your food. They could go 6 feet up and they don't go all the way up.
Yes.
And they're not doing anything. They're just being rude and a-holes. Those people can kick rocks.
Yep.
Kick rock.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. I know you got to get out of here. Drive safely. Wish the Theriot girls and the entire Dunham soccer team good luck. Go take down, who are they playing?
The Catholic New Iberia Panthers are going to get that work.
The Panthers.
They're pretty good, though. But we got a game plan. And I told my girls, if all else fails, get a yellow or red card. You know what I mean? Like, if it looks like we're going to lose.
Get tossed.
If it looks like we're not going to win this one, at least let them know you were there.
Let them know. Get tossed.
So, I don't know if that's the Dunham way or not, but that, that's...
I'm surprised there was no mention of Joe West retiring.
I love Joe West. I think he's a great umpire. He's great for the game of baseball. Cowboy Joe.
All right, it's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Man, you walk outside on a day like this, and it's 38 degrees and raining right now, and all you can think of is, I live in Louisiana because I love the sunshine. I love that I don't deal with cold weather and snow. And so you're dreaming of what it's going to be like in a few short months when the weather is nice again and you're swimming. But what if you don't have a pool? What if you don't have a pool?
Then you have to either go buy one of those little ones from Walmart or somewhere, and you put that in your backyard.
Ones, yeah, the little inflatable ones that you with a garden hose.
You could go to a friend's house.
Yeah, but then you got to inconvenience a friend.
Or you could go to Blue Bayou, which is what I do.
Nope, not going to do that.
Well, then you got to call Pinnacle.
You call Pinnacle Exterior Construction, and they build you a pool. 757-6138. 757-6138. Start that process today, so that way you're swimming when the weather's nice again. 757-6138 or PECbuilt.com. PECbuilt.com.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in stock with $2,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Shop now at BayouCDJR.com. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Auctioner Health.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we roll along here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Theriot had to bounce, but we got a loaded show. We are going to go to the Plains of Auburn in about 35 minutes. What in the world is happening right now with Brian Harsin, who might get fired, like today? It could very. Like, we're going to talk to Zach Blackerby from Locked on Auburn, and he's like, yeah, I can come on unless he gets fired, and then I can't. I'm like, I understand. Cat Terrell's going to join us, talk some Saints, and Jay Johnson will be with us in the 5 o'clock hour. We're looking forward to that. A little bit of breaking news here with so much NIL conversation after signing day. You all know that I am a GameCoin investor. I'm a board member for GameCoin, and the biggest NIL announcement yet from GameCoin just came down. GameCoin has announced they have signed the entire LSU men's and women's basketball teams. Let me say it again. GameCoin has signed the entire LSU men's and women's basketball teams as ambassador athletes, which is awesome news for two reasons. Number one, obviously, if you're an LSU fan, you need NIL deals like this. You need companies that are going to saddle up and help get NIL deals for your athletes. You got to have this happen. I mean, we saw it on signing day. You need this kind of stuff to be able to keep it. You don't think Will Wade is pumped right now? You don't think Will Wade is fired up? You don't think Kim Mulkey's fired up as they go try to recruit and they could say, look, my entire team got an NIL deal? That's number one. Number two, if you're investing in GameCoin, keep in mind every one of those athletes, when the platform launches, they will all have a fan token and their NFTs all on the GameCoin platform. Come on, yo. Try to tell y'all. A disruptive idea in a disruptive space. I'm fired up for it. Congrats to all my buddies over at GameCoin for this awesome announcement. So the entire men's and women's basketball teams. It's awesome. All right, it's after further review. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Auburn Tigers.
Brian Harsin, as we mentioned, he may get fired. Report from Justin Hawkinson on On3 Sports said Harsin's immediate future is in jeopardy. Half the staff has left. 20 players from the football team have announced transfers. Some players have taken to social media to accuse Harsin of treating the players like dogs. Brian Harsin gave a long interview, a wide-ranging interview to ESPN last night. He called the accusations, I can't exactly quote him, but let's say cow poop. So anyway, Harsin just finished up his first year there at Auburn, where they went 6-7. Stay tuned.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
I'd like to congratulate the Texas A&M bagman. Elijah Robinson has been named the National Recruiter of the Year by Rivals. He helped the Aggies land the top-rated class ever, but it had nothing at all to do with NIL. Robinson was recently promoted to assistant head coach. He's also the run game coordinator, defensive line coach, and bagman.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Bama expected to hire former Georgia quarterback Joe Cox as his tight ends coach. Cox spent last season as the tight ends coach at Charlotte. Previously was wide receivers coach at South Carolina. The fourth member of former Gamecocks coach Will Muschamp's staff that Alabama has hired this offseason. That's stunning. Cox is 35. You might remember he was the backup to Matt Stafford at Georgia.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Mike Bianco has been named the head coach of USA Baseball's collegiate national team for 2022. Bianco previously served as the pitching coach for the national team back in 2013. Third winningest coach in SEC history, 21 years there in Oxford. The remaining 2022 collegiate national team staff, they'll be announced at a later date. On the hardwood, mañana. LSU, of course, is at Vanderbilt. That is a 5 o'clock Central Time tip. Number 1, Auburn on the road at awful Georgia. That's at noon Central. Tennessee visits South Carolina. Ole Miss is at Florida. Texas A&M hosts Missouri at Reed Arena. Aggies have lost 5 in a row. Kentucky at Bama should be a really good one, 7 o'clock Central on ESPN. And they'll wrap it up with Mississippi State visiting Bud Walton Arena. The Arkansas Razorbacks have won 6 in a row. They are streaking right now. That'll be your nightcap. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. And I'll remind you, today's the Monday. Monday. We are drawing Monday for the final game for Courtside for Charity. You want to sit on the floor for Tuesday's Pelicans game against the Rockets? Go buy your tickets. 1045ESPN.com. Courtside for Charity. $20 a chance. $100 get you 6 tickets. So support 4 great local charities. When after we pull on Monday, we will divide all the money raised evenly among the 4 charities. And cut checks to each of them. So thank you to everyone who has participated. One more chance to win. 1045ESPN.com, all courtesy of Gulf Coast Office Products. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break. Super Bowl is 9 days away. The 2 coaches talked about it, and Mattress Mac has already laid down his ginormous bet. We'll talk about that when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Man, when it's 38 degrees outside, you had better have that home central heater working and in tip-top shape. If with this cold weather here, low of 28 tonight, my goodness. If with this weather you have issues with your heater, call River City's 1 Hour Air. I want to remind you, nights, holidays, weekends, they always come out and they never charge you extra. They're always on call. They're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. So this weekend, if you have an issue with your home central heater, call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. If you want that heater safety check, maybe your heater's making funny noises, funny smells, or you just can't remember the last time you had it maintenanced, remember, mention the Moscona special. They always save you $25 on any system repair. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in stock with $2,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Shop now at BayouCDJR.com. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Super Bowl 56, of course, is a week from Sunday. It'll match Sean McVay and the Rams against Zach Taylor and the Bengals. Taylor, of course, was the quarterback's coach on McVay's staff in 2018, the team that beat the Saints in the Nolan no-call game and then lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Taylor, when he met with the media, was asked about that experience, that Super Bowl experience back in the 2018 season.
Going through that 2-week process, I think the experience is helpful to direct the guys of what to expect. It has changed. The COVID obviously has changed it. We went out on a Sunday and we're there for a week, and you had to deal with all the media stuff that came with that. And I know that's a little bit different nowadays, probably in a better sense for me as a head coach and what our players are going to deal with because there's less distractions there. So again, I don't look too much into that process 3 years ago. There are some things that stand out that I try to be helpful with our players. But again, we got to find a way to focus on this game.
And on the flip side, of course, you got Sean McVay, who's going through his second Super Bowl in 5 seasons, or I guess second in 4 seasons. And since the last time they were there, there's still a lot of similarities. I mean, Aaron Donald is obviously still there, but you've got some very notable new players, among them Odell Beckham, and you've got Von Miller there as well. And Sean McVay talked about the additions onto this roster.
I think we've gotten some really key contributors on some of the moves that we made that there's been a lot of conversation about, whether it be Matthew, Von Miller, Odell, even looking at the way that Eric Weddle has injected an amazing amount of positive energy, looking at being able to re-sign Leonard Floyd, adding Jalen Ramsey since then. And so there's been a lot of good decisions that have been stacked on one another. Certainly they haven't all been perfect, but I think there's been more good decisions than there have been bad. And you're betting on the people and our players and coaches and personnel. We're all pushing and pulling that rope in the same direction. And I think that's critical for any sort of team. And I'm just grateful to be back in this position with an opportunity to try to finish it out the right way.
It is a very different looking Rams roster than it was back in 2018, or I guess February of 2019. But in the 2018 season, when they lost the Super Bowl, they'll try to get it done, but they'll have to beat Joey B, the Cincinnati Bengals. And, of course, Jamar Chase, who's had an incredible rookie season. And Zach Taylor, now with the benefit of hindsight, looked back and said, yeah, that was obviously a no-brainer.
We needed to be more explosive, and you always want to put pressure on the defenses. And so, again, it really goes back to a simple story that really drove it home for all of us was Brian Callahan's experience in Denver, when he won a Super Bowl, and they had 3 guys, including tight ends, that were difficult one-on-one matchups. And in key moments in playoff games, they'd get man coverage, and Peyton would pick the one who's got the best matchup and trust that he was going to win. And so we think when we've got the weapons that we now have, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. It takes the pressure off of Joe Burrow. You're able to get the ball out faster because guys can win quicker because you've got those playmakers that can make those types of plays. And so again, it's allowed us to be more explosive, score more points, put more pressure on the defense, and allowed us to get to the Super Bowl as well.
Super Bowl 56 a week from Sunday. Mattress Mac has placed his bet. If you haven't heard yet, I'll fill you in just a second. Let me remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. If you're in the market for a vehicle, if you're shopping, they do have inventory over at South Point Volkswagen, both new and certified pre-owned. So go check it out at southpointvw.com. southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. The great German engineering without the cost. I'm telling you, they're going to treat you awesome over at South Point Volkswagen. Go see Brad or Mr. Bill, the whole gang over there. Kerry Manuel, the certified pre-owned manager. Go check them out at South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, so you all know that Mattress Mac, Jim McInvale, Mattress Mac from Houston, who owns a giant furniture store, places massive bets on major sporting events as a hedge against a promotion he runs at his store. Basically, he picks a team, says, all right, if this team wins the Super Bowl or wins whatever event, any purchase over $3,000 at the store will be fully refunded. Then as a hedge, he goes and makes a wager the other way and tries to find a way if he could, well, I guess, on that team. So that would cancel out the loss if he has to refund all these furniture purchases. He's hit a little bit of a cold streak. He lost the World Series last year with the bet on the Houston Astros. He had Alabama winning the national championship as well, lost there. But he did win the Super Bowl last year where he had Tampa. Mattress Mac drove across state lines into Louisiana and on the sportsbook app made a $4.5 million bet on the Cincinnati Bengals. It would pay out $7.7 million if Joey B and the squad get it done. But, of course, Mattress Mac would have to refund a lot of furniture as well. Good luck to Joey B and the Bengals and to Mattress Mac. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEYE.com. Don't wait. Don't wait anymore. You hear me say it every day. And you're driving home right now. Maybe you're sitting watching us somewhere. And you're peering through glasses or your contact lens is drying out or you're preparing for a trip and you got to remember to bring your extra pair of contacts and your glasses so when you take your contacts out at night you can see, but the prescription's probably like 10 years old, so you don't really even see that well when you have glasses. That was me. That was me my whole life until about 3 years ago when I met Dr. Blake Williamson. I did what so many people told me I should have done for years. Went for the consultation. I had LASIK. And 3 years later, more than 3 years later, I'm still seeing better than 2020. Life-changing. Give yourself the gift of sight and let Dr. Blake Williamson walk you through it. At the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Major League Baseball Players Association today rejecting MLB's offer of federal mediation. Major League Baseball has said it believes mediation is the best route to break the deadlock in negotiations on a new CBA between the two sides. NFL seeking to promote defensive line coach Clint Hurst, the defensive coordinator. ESPN NFL analyst Sam Acho on how players are reacting this week to former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores filing a lawsuit this week against the league and 3 teams.
Well, to be honest, David, it's not just black players. Rob Ninkovich, who works for ESPN, a former player as well, he expressed his frustration. He's white. He expressed his frustration at the Brian Flores situation. He says, man, if it weren't for Brian Flores, I wouldn't be the player that I am today. Rob Ninkovich played in New England where Brian Flores was a defensive coordinator. Now what I think we need is for NFL players, superstar players, to start speaking up collectively about it.
Sam Acho on SportsCenter. Clippers and Blazers agreeing on a trade that sends Norman Powell and Robert Covington to L.A. Blazers acquire Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 draft pick. That from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. If you're just jumping in the car, you're expecting Theriot. The Theriot girls have a playoff soccer game in New Iberia today. So Ryan is watching Macy and Georgia Theriot. Good luck to the girls and to the Dunham girls soccer team in their other playoff game tonight against Catholic of New Iberia. So Theriot was with us for the first couple segments of the show. If you want, you go back and catch it on demand, 1045ESPN.com, presented by Brett Golf, or, of course, on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. You just scroll back to the beginning of the show, and you could watch the first couple segments if you want to catch Ryan. So he did write his letter to one Jimbo Fisher. You might find that interesting. Maybe not, but you might. Senior Bowl, of course, is this weekend. Congrats to a trio of LSU Tigers that are there. The LSU football Twitter account posted this a bit ago. The 3 LSU players that are there, Damone Clark, Neil Farrell, and Ed Ingram, were named the tops at each of their positions this week in the Senior Bowl. Damone Clark was named the top linebacker. Neil Farrell was named the top defensive lineman. Ed Ingram was named the top offensive lineman on the American team at the Reese's Senior Bowl. So congrats to those guys, which is, I know it's sort of cliche and people say it all the time, well, it's like the biggest job interview of your life, which is true for at this point of these guys, and then the combine will be that next. But for those guys to go there this week and to absolutely ace it is pretty cool. We've talked mostly about Damone Clark being a guy who has the most to gain by the pre-draft process. And so far, he's acing the test. So congrats to Damone Clark, and then, of course, Neil Farrell. And there's a really cool video circulating as well with Ed Ingram winning some one-on-ones. I mean, that's a guy who, man, I still have the image, in 2019 when he was made eligible. Of course, went through the whole thing up in his hometown in DeSoto, and he was out of football for about a year and a half. And when he was made eligible again in 2019, I remember Ryan Clark sitting in studio and saying, let him go smash people's children. I mean, Ed Ingram is a dude with a nasty streak who is a really talented offensive lineman. There's no doubt. And for whatever reason this year, it took a while to click. He just, objectively, and he would tell you early in the season, didn't play very well. But started coming on of late, and hopefully he has a really good Senior Bowl week and great combine as well and makes himself some money. So congrats to those guys. All right, it is after further review. We're going to go to Auburn in about 10 minutes from right now, find out what the world's going on with Brian Harsin. I mean, they're all of a sudden, you went to sleep, you woke up, and Brian Harsin might be fired this weekend. So we'll talk to Zach Blackerby of Locked on Auburn coming up in about 10 minutes. One of the things I wanted to do post-signing day was sort of assess the LSU roster, because where they are now still isn't technically the final roster for fall. And I get asked often, hey, Matt, how do you think LSU is going to do this fall? Like, what do you think their record's going to be? And I keep saying, I don't know what the roster is going to be. Let me see what the roster is first, and then I'll be able to give you a better idea. It's certainly closer now than it was a month ago or 6 weeks ago when Brian Kelly was hired at the beginning of December, or 8 weeks ago. But there's still potentially work to be done. So if you're scoring at home, the Tigers have 5 more spots to go. They went into signing day at 25, so they had 7 spots. So they had the availability to sign 32. They have the availability to sign 32. Well, they added 2 of the 6 that they were targeting on signing day. So they have 5 spots remaining. So they have 27. Remember, they got 12 transfers and 15 high school signees. So at 27, they could add as many as 5 more transfer players if they wanted to, if the opportunity is there and there's a player at a position of need. The other thing that I'll remind you is almost certainly LSU is going to lose more players to the transfer portal post-spring. We are going to see another round of transfers when you get into spring football and then through spring football, and guys see kind of where they are on the pecking order, depth chart, especially at a place like LSU where you have a new staff, and it'll be the first time that they're on the field with the new staff, the new full staff, to see how things transpire throughout spring. And after that, LSU is going to lose players. There are going to be this isn't just LSU, it's everywhere. There are always players that transfer out after spring. But likewise, LSU has 5 spots to add guys post-spring. And we've seen that quite a bit. If it was Joe Burrow, when they added him in 2018. We've seen LSU do that with Darren Evans at cornerback. There's always those opportunities. There's going to be those opportunities for LSU to add players post-spring. So I wanted to look at it position by position. We'll just run through this quickly, so I'll kind of give you a feel of where I think they are right now at each position. We'll run through this quickly. On offense, I would like them to take one more quarterback. You've got 3 scholarship quarterbacks. Each of the last 2 years, they've played 3 scholarship quarterbacks. I would like there to be one more. I don't know that it's realistic that you're going to be able to go get someone from a Power 5 that's a transfer, because someone's going to be looking for immediate playing time, and I don't think that exists at LSU. What's more is you could see a situation post-spring where if Miles Brennan is the leader and then Walker Howard's coming in, does Garrett Nussmeier stay? I don't know. But you always have to be willing and looking to add depth, the most important position on the field, because of exactly what we've seen the past couple of years. I think you're fine at running back. You got 5 scholarship running backs with Noah Cain. You got John Emery eligible. Both of the freshmen are back with Armani Goodwin and Corey Kiner. And remember, Trey Bradford is back as well. You might even lose one of those guys post-spring. I still think you're okay there. And you have Josh Williams. So technically you got 6 running backs. I think your numbers are good. I also think you're good at wide receiver. You would like to have double-digit wide receivers on scholarship. LSU doesn't. But when you have Kayshon Boutte, you have Jeray Jenkins coming back, and you look at all the rising sophomores that made such an impact last year. If it's Jack Besh or Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Chris Hilton, and then you add Kyron Lacey, you have depth and talent at that position. Offensive line, I would love for them to add another starter if they could. You added Miles Frazier, Tremont Shorts. You only got 1 returning starter in Cam Wire. You hope a lot of those guys who rotated along the offensive line, some of them elevate their play. Yes, Will Campbell will be coming in, as will Emory Jones, and if one of them is able to start as a freshman, fantastic. But if you could add a starter on the offensive line, a starting offensive lineman, that would be so key in this sort of transitional year. Where they are absolutely desperate is at tight end. LSU is desperate at tight end. All the respect in the world for Jack Mashburn as a walk-on stepping up in the role he did last year. I'll say the same for Jack Besh, who is a receiver who tried to put his hand in the dirt and play tight end, but at 220 pounds, you can't play the traditional tight end role in the Southeastern Conference. Again, massive amounts of respect for Jack Besh for trying to do that last year, but they need help at that position. Yes, you have Cole Taylor, but again, he's a pass catcher. You sign Mason Taylor out of Florida. That's Jason Taylor's son, another sort of pass-catching tight end. I'm not saying that you have to have the sixth offensive lineman like Les Miles used to use, but you need an SEC tight end. You got to address that, and hopefully there's an opportunity to do so post-spring. Defensively, I think you need depth at end. You got two guys who I think you feel really good about. You're thrilled to have Ali Gay back, and of course, B.J. Ojolari's a stud. Everybody else is a question mark. You have bodies there. You don't have production there. On the interior, with Mason Smith returning and Jaquelin Roy returning and Jacoby and Guillory returning, and you should be getting Joe Evans back on the interior, and then you add a transfer from Missouri. Your numbers on the defensive line are good. On the interior are really good, to where you're going to have a waves of players that can play on the interior. You should always have fresh legs. I like what you did at linebacker, and adding Harold Perkins is so key. But I would love it if you could add one more linebacker. And I'm definitely concerned about corner. They have addressed the secondary. You added Joe Fouché. You added Greg Brooks. You added Jark Bernard Converse. You added Mekhi Gardner. I mean, they've added guys in that secondary. And Jark Bernard Converse and Mekhi Gardner may be your starters. And you got a couple of guys back at corner. And you add LaTerrence Welch and Jordan Allen. But I don't know that you have the true number one lockdown dude on the outside. I don't know if that exists. I don't know if there's going to be an option to add that guy. But if there is, you need to, because you're vulnerable on the outside. It's the most obvious vulnerability in losing Ricks and McLaughlin and replacing them with Jark Bernard Converse and Mekhi Gardner. You are objectively not as good at those positions on the outside. And in this league, you have to have dudes on the outside. So how they manage that, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing where you see guys elevate their play. Maybe Ray Darius Jones or Demarius McGee just blossom and have these amazing years, which would be awesome. And we've seen it from guys in the past. But as of right now, you got to see it. If you can add another guy there, you do. I think at punter, you're fine. You added the transfer from Notre Dame. Of course, you got Peyton Todd. You need help at place kicker. You got the kid you signed, and that's it. You lost both your kickers in Cade York and Preston Stafford, who was the walk-on who transferred in and is now left again. So you need help at place kicker. You need options at place kicker if you can find one. And I think you're fine at long snapper as well. You added the long snapper from East Carolina. So all in all, if I'm looking at it, I think you're desperate at tight end. Would love to add a defensive end to add depth at that position. If you could add another linebacker, that would be fantastic. And if there's a starting cornerback out there, to add another body there would be key. And if there's a place kicker, if there's a Cole Tracy opportunity, you got to find it. That's kind of how they're looking. I think coming out of signing day, heading into spring, and it'll crystallize more when they make it through spring football and you see sort of the next wave of musical chairs with the transfer portal post-spring. But that's where LSU is, I think, coming out of the February signing day. Decidedly better than it was the day Brian Kelly was hired. That's a major hat tip to him and his staff and the job they did, pounding the pavement, adding the transfers, finishing off this recruiting class with the high school prospects they did, and giving themselves a chance to be really competitive in 2022. What is going to happen on the Plains? My goodness, if you've not been following this story, did this escalate quickly? I'm going to steal the line from Rod Burgundy. In the last 24 hours, the news cycle in Auburn has been bonkers, and Brian Harsin may be fired this weekend. Let's go there next to find out what the latest is. Zach Blackerby of Locked on Auburn joins us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Had a conversation today with a buddy of mine who's been with State Farm for his whole life. Got his house with State Farm. 3 kids driving on the insurance as well. He, his wife. They have a farmland as well, all with State Farm. Flood insurance, all with State Farm. Ida comes. Shingles everywhere, down fence, column on their house is leaning. Wouldn't cover any of it. Would have replaced a few shingles, that was it. Wouldn't touch the column, didn't pay for the fence, nothing. Y'all, State Farm's the worst, by the way. They're the worst. If you have State Farm, my God, please just call somebody else. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450. This is not just cut rate insurance where you're going to get a cheap policy. It's going to save you money. We're talking about top-rated companies in the world where they shop to find you the best coverage for the least money possible. Call them today, 293-0450.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in stock with $2,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Shop now at BayouCDJR.com. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
He been dancing on the squad, we left his man sweet. Ducking silver bracelets, be precautious when the fair sweet. I want that brand new Bentley with the red seats. My pops was there for me, so I'll be damn, I'll be a deadbeat.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Man, what in the world is going on the Plains right now? Went to bed last night. And Brian Harsin was the Auburn coach, woke up, and now he might not be. Zach Blackerby is the host of Locked on Auburn. It is the preeminent Auburn podcast. Like, everybody on the Plains listens to his show. He does an awesome job, and he'll have his finger on the pulse of what's happening there. He joins us now. Hey, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm okay, Matt. Man, it seems like Auburn is burning to the ground.
How did this happen?
As we speak.
Zach, how did this happen so quickly? Like, what, or did it happen quickly?
the timing's interesting, Matt. I mean, signing day rolls around, and Auburn doesn't sign anyone, which, from an optics standpoint, I think you couple that with several bad things that have happened this end of the season for Auburn. It kind of almost feels like that was a straw that kind of broke the camel's back. But I mean, they did a good job closing out the early signing period, and I think we all kind of agreed that signing day isn't what it used to be. Sure. But after that, it kind of, I started getting texts from, folks that I kind of lean on for information saying that, hey, they're trying to get the money together and they're trying to find cause to move on for Brian Harsin. I'm like, really? That's fascinating. And then, rumors start swirling around, and I'm not going to get into the rumors, but, people kind of saying things that would definitely put his character into question. And the timing of this all is fascinating. It's totally fascinating. And it all points back to kind of the power struggle that we saw 14 months ago when Brian Harsin was kind of hired out of the blue with, the powers that be, the boosters, the board. They all wanted another candidate, and Alan Green kind of stood up to the board and won over a lot of the Auburn fan base by kind of saying, no, we're going to do something different. We don't have to get somebody that has been at Auburn before. So they went out and got Harsin, a dude who's won everywhere he's been. And now we're seeing the exact same battle happening today. And, Harsin's on vacation. The president calls Harsin up and says, hey, can you come back to Auburn? We need to talk. And he's like, no, I'm on vacation. And so I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
Brian Harsin gave an interview to ESPN, and he's disputing everything that's attacking his character. And if you read through this, there are different players who have said different things. Zach, I know you know all this, but for the benefit of our audience, like Lee Hunter said Harsin has a terrible mindset as a person, said they were treated like dogs. The flip side of it is there are players who came to his defense. Chandler Wooten, who was a captain, went to Twitter, said we didn't need a friend, we needed a coach, that's what we had. So, I mean, it seems like they're outside looking in, that it's one of those things where you can find people criticizing him, you can find people defending him. Where's the majority on this?
Yeah, it seems like most of the folks that are speaking out are pro Harsin. And you mentioned Chandler Wooten. John Samuel Shanker is another one. I've had NIL deals with both of those guys, and so I've gotten to know both of those dudes' characters. And I trust them. I believe them. The fact that they didn't have to stand up and say anything, I think, says a lot. You're seeing Auburn's coaching staff support their lead guy. I think that's good. I think that's something. But where you're seeing the negative stuff, with the exception of Smoke Monday, you're seeing it from these former dudes that have all transferred to UCF. They're Gus Malzahn guys. Kobe Hudson, you mentioned Lee Hunter being a part of that. And then, Smoke Monday has a really good relationship with Kobe Hudson. And so, Smoke coming out and saying that Harsin, didn't even know his parents, their names or anything like that. But then you hear Chandler Wooten talk about it. And he's like, look, he let me bring my kids to practice, my family to practice. That was a big part of it, And so I don't know. But, there's been this constant battle between Harsin as far as, getting the discipline of the team where he wants it to be. I don't think he's done a good job with that. I think he's trying. I think he's doing the best thing. But, his connecting with people seems to be the weakness in all of this. But as far as, forcing discipline and demanding a certain kind of level of play and level of attitude, the folks that have stuck around seem to have bought into it.
Zach, is there any history of Brian Harsin at Arkansas State or at Boise with this type of behavior, this type of reputation?
I didn't hear it. I talked to some Boise people when Auburn hired him, and they're like, the guy's hard on folks, and the guy can come across as a jerk. But I don't think that's really what's being questioned here. I think what's being questioned here is character and, can he control a program? I think you can look, Matt, there's been a million things that have happened. I think we could list 15 things that have happened that have not been good for Harsin since the end of the season. I mean, dating back to Bo Nix leaving, Tank almost leaving, and then more recently, Derek Mason, kind of stepping away from the program. and then, finding a way out of them, popping up a few days later at Oklahoma State after telling players, and sounds like he told Harsin that he was stepping away from coaching. Then the Austin Davis thing that happened last week was super, super bizarre. But there's this new trend of nobody wants to be around them. And I don't fully get that. I don't fully understand that. But that's kind of where we are with that. And look, I think there's a reason, Matt, why he wanted his dudes in place from Boise. His what I think is about to be his offensive coordinator followed him from Boise. He's currently the wide receivers coach, Keesow. And then when Derek Mason left, they promoted his DC from Boise a few years ago. So he surrounded himself with his dudes. And I think if you're Auburn, you need to let him do it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you can pull the plug.
Zach Blackerby's with us, locked on Auburn. Zach, this is an outside looking in perspective, but what it sounds like is what happens damn near everywhere when there's a coaching change. Guys that were recruited by the previous staff, there's always going to be guys that struggle to adjust to the new guy. Some situations are a little rockier than others, and a lot of transfers happen. Hell, it's happening at LSU right now. So what's different here than almost any other spot where a coach comes in and dudes loyal to the previous coach leave?
Well, LSU's getting guys to come to LSU, right?
Okay.
I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
You have 18 guys leave, and you have had 4 guys come in through the transfer portal. That's not a good ratio. And I'm not saying it needs to be 1-to-1, but I don't think that's a good look. But also, like, the dude who was kind of, based on everybody I've talked to in the program, that it was holding the program together from a recruiting standpoint, Derek Mason, is gone. And I think that's telling. So, but yeah, I think you are right though, Matt. And I think we're still so new in this transfer portal world of college football where we don't exactly know what to look for and what things look like. But yeah, I think you're right. And I think the fact that a lot of these dudes are going to UCF is telling as well because, they're Malzahn's dudes. Malzahn recruited them. So, but yeah, I think it's worse than that, Matt, but I think that's definitely a glass half full way to look at it.
Okay. And again, outside looking in. Timeline? Is there any idea of when Auburn will make a decision on Brian Harsin's future?
I wouldn't be shocked if it was today, a few minutes after we hang up. I think this thing is happening. But I was told if he survives the weekend and Monday he is Auburn's head coach, they're going to move forward with him. That's what I was told a few hours ago.
Okay. Man, what a time. I know you said there's speculation and stuff like that. I think most people probably seen the rumor about it, maybe an inappropriate relationship. Like, I'm not asking you if it happened or didn't or whatever, but do those rumors factor in at all to what's happening internally at Auburn?
I think that has to do with them trying to find cause.
Okay.
That's my understanding. I was unfamiliar with his staffer before all of this. He brought so many people with him from Boise. There were just so many names. Yeah, I think that's it. But okay. I think the way that they are going to go or try to go as far as finding fault has to do with how he is talking to coaches and players and subordinates. I think that's going to be the route they go. I'm not a lawyer, but it seems like that's going to kind of be what they are going to try to pursue. I don't know how you prove that you pass that threshold of, kind of doing something wrong versus, having standards and, being, strict. I don't know where that line is legally, but I think that's what they're going to go with.
Okay, man. I hope you have an enjoyable, relaxing weekend. I don't know if that's going to happen. The great news for you is Auburn basketball's crushing it right now.
Dude, thank God for Bruce Pearl, Matt. Thank God for Bruce Pearl.
We appreciate it, Zach. Thanks for the time, man. Have a good weekend.
Hey, you're the GOAT. Thanks, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Zach Blackerby, the Locked On Auburn podcast. I'm telling you, that dude has built a massive following. A massive Auburn following. Like when I was doing Locked On LSU, we'd see the the stats and the rankings of all the Locked On podcasts and the different networks. Like, Zach blew the whole college thing out of the water. Like, he's a guy over at Auburn. Follow him on Twitter at @ZBlackerby, BLACKERBY, Zach Blackerby. All right. The Saints may be about to hire a coach. Terrell is going to join us next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers. Weekend is upon us. Get on by Pluckers, y'all. Friday night, Pels play tonight. You need a place to watch. Get on by Pluckers. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall, Louisiana. LSU plays on the road at Vandy, of course, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So, great opportunity to maybe go have dinner at Pluckers. You got all the Pro Bowl stuff going on as well, all that coverage. Full NBA slate, a big day of college basketball tomorrow. Get on by either Pluckers location. Nicholson just south of campus or Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. It's freezing cold outside. If you don't feel like getting out tonight, okay. Uber Eats or DoorDash, they'll deliver your wings to your house tonight from Pluckers. Either location, great spot to watch the game as always. And next week, we're going to start churning towards Super Bowl Sunday. Make sure you get those pre-orders in for your Super Bowl party. We'll tell you about that next week. But remember, award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Pluckers, you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Man, what a week it's been for the Saints. Not only Senior Bowl, coaching search, quarterback questions, but we also got word that Ryan Ramczyk underwent off-season knee surgery, trying to clean out and alleviate the issues. Ian Rappaport, among others, had the news. It was described as a minor procedure, but it's never something that you want to see. Kat Terrell from The Athletic, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here to talk about everything going on with the Saints right now. Hey, Kat, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the time. Let me start there, if I could, with Ramczyk. Can you tell us anything more about that? Because it was such an odd situation, right, where he was injured and then just, like, never came back.
Yeah, honestly, I've been so bombarded with Senior Bowl stuff. The Ramczyk news almost flew under the radar because I've just been focused on coaching searches. But yeah, I mean, that did surprise me, and that's something I've honestly been meaning to look more into because I just thought it was a little weird how that happened. I mean, I asked Sean Payton about it a couple times, and he just said he's still working through the initial injury. So I'm not sure if there was some sort of bigger setback or what happened with that. But having both tackles hurt and not really understanding to the extent of which they were hurt was one of the oddest things I've seen in a long time. So the fact that he's had surgery is not surprising, but, you know, I feel like they always call surgery minor surgery or successful surgery. So, well, I guess we'll see where that goes. But, yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting terms. And also that he had the surgery now and not like a couple weeks ago. Because a lot of times they get it right after the season's over, but everyone's different. So definitely something to look at going forward.
Surgery's minor when it's somebody else's knee, I guess.
Right, exactly. I don't think any surgery is minor.
Right. Let's talk then about how this week was. So you were in Mobile for a portion of the week. The Senior Bowl was happening while the Saints are trying to conduct coaching search interviews. How standard, Kat, is the way this week played out for the Saints, or is it?
Well, it's been a long time since they've interviewed a head coach of the Senior Bowl. They didn't interview Payton at the Senior Bowl because he already had the job by then. I'm not sure about Haslett and the timing, but, you know, it could be, you know, decades since they've kind of been in this position looking for a coach during this week. So it was kind of interesting. They interviewed Doug Peterson first back in New Orleans and then did some interviews in Mobile, and then everyone went back to New Orleans, and they're finishing out their interviews this weekend back at home. So, you know, it's just kind of different. Like, for example, Dennis Lauscha was in on the interviews virtually, and, you know, Gail Benson wasn't in on the interviews but was kind of appraised what was happening, and then you had a group of people sitting in with the candidates. So just kind of a different world than 2006, you know, a different team, because Mickey Loomis has said a couple times that people are actually calling him now for this job versus last time where he was trying to basically call other people and beg them to come in for the job. So it's an attractive job. You know, it's a job where people actively want to be, a good situation. So, you know, just kind of unique when you're looking back to the last coaching search.
Kat, let's run through what we know. Doug Peterson interviewed, as you mentioned. He's taken the Jacksonville job, which some thought that maybe Byron Leftwich was holding out for that job. That didn't materialize. So Doug Peterson scratched him off. Does that mean Byron Leftwich is a real candidate in New Orleans?
Well, the last information I heard about Byron Leftwich is that they had requested to speak with him and were kind of still waiting to hear back. And that was the same thing as Bieniemy. They were waiting to hear back. That's why no one really heard about the Bieniemy thing until yesterday. So I don't know if that's changed. I mean, logic would say Byron Leftwich would come in for an interview if Jacksonville's not going to work out. But he also, at this point, might just decide to stay in his position and then kind of try his hand at the next coaching cycle next year. I think it's the oddest thing, the way it all played out. But, you know, it's Jacksonville, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised that it all kind of went a little sideways. But, yeah, it's weird. And he would be the last interview, I think, if he decided to interview with the Saints, and they're certainly interested interested in him. But I don't really know where it stands as of now. It's something I got to find out. But Bieniemy is supposed to be tomorrow, and then I would assume if Byron Leftwich does interview, it would be Sunday or next week.
So if Bieniemy is tomorrow, and that's where I wanted to go next, Kat, what kind of timeline are they working? I mean, is it plausible to think that the Saints could have a coach by Monday?
Yeah, actually, I do. Bieniemy might push that back a little. I think if Bieniemy had declined their request, then Monday would be more feasible. Now, I'm not saying Monday wouldn't happen, but I think now that they're outing an interview on Saturday, that could push that timeline back. But what you really want is to have a coach by the Combine, which is in 3 weeks. And so you want to have a coach way before that so that they can hire their staff. And with the Saints, it's a little different because if they hired an in-house candidate, I can see some of those assistants staying on. But either way, whoever's coming in, he's probably going to end up hiring at least a few assistants. And you want those all in place and ready to go so they can all go to the Combine together because, that's a really important time to be scouting all the prospective players and your people are talking agents. And, you really all need to be there in Indy together as a staff. So the sooner the better. And I'd be very surprised if at some point next week we don't have some sort of resolution. Probably early in the week, like you said. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that for certain. I don't want people to say, Catherine said on Monday, so it's going to happen on Monday. But I definitely think it's possible.
Is Brian Flores still a candidate?
I think that's tricky. So when I was at the Senior Bowl and all of that was breaking, this is not news, but a lot of people, a lot of assistants or just coaches around the league, when you go through these, you're out and about, and you can hear what people are talking about. You can talk to people, and a lot of people think that, that has made his job prospects a lot more difficult. And that's not any new revelation. It's what people have been saying since it happened. But that is the feeling around the, Senior Bowl. And, it's not like I've heard that from the Saints. Of course, they'd be wise to not say anything. But what they did tell me is that they were very impressed with his interview, and they spent a lot of time with him. He was the only candidate that got dinner and an interview, as far as I know. So, if they really, really like him, it shouldn't. But I do think it's a much different situation than when they interviewed him because they did not know at the time that lawsuit was going to be filed.
A couple more minutes here. Kat Terrell's our guest. She's on Twitter at @Kat_Terrell. Make sure you're following her on Twitter. Go read her stuff at The Athletic. With the other candidates, Kat, it's a pretty clear line that's drawn, right? You have defensive guys that are sort of in-house or familiar with the Saints. And then you've got a guy like Eric Bieniemy, right, who's kind of an outside guy, who's an offensive guy. And I think Mickey Loomis said it earlier this week. It's these two questions that are sort of it's a chicken or the egg type question, which is difficult to answer. So as best you can tell, what really are they looking for? Are they looking for the offensive guy that's going to be able to bring in the quarterback and evolve the offense, or are they looking for the guy that's just going to maintain the structure as it's been for so long?
I haven't really, talking to, people around the organization, I feel like the quarterback is not a huge point of contention yet. Maybe because they haven't settled on their coach, and that'll come after, but it almost seems like that's not what the candidates are focusing on. Although, that they could be saying that to me. I think, honestly, stability is probably what they're looking for the most. Maybe we all think that because Dennis Allen is generally considered the favorite, but I feel like the organization feels that there are a lot of good things in place right now, and why would you want to go, overturn the apple cart or whatever at this point? Now, that being said, Loomis says Loomis understands that whoever comes in should have the right to hire and fire his own assistants. So I don't think there's any mandate that the assistants stay, but yet if it's an in-house candidate, it's more likely that they will. So I think it's kind of interesting to look, at all directions. But, with the way the league is trending, okay, so take Dennis out of the equation. With the way the league is trending, I feel like you would lean offensively. But for the Saints' particular, scenario or whatever they're looking at now, I think they probably favor stability over maybe bringing in an offensive candidate that could, I don't know, I guess rival a Sean Payton type. I don't know. I think it just depends on if someone comes in their interviews and blows them away, honestly. Bieniemy is such a curious candidate because he's interviewed with so many different organizations, and yet we don't have one prevailing reason as to why he hasn't gotten hired yet. But he continues to be, every year one of the hottest candidates on the market.
It's so strange because it's so rare that a team's hiring a coach after the coach just left on his own volition. Usually you're hiring a coach because your team stunk, and so you're looking for something new, and the Saints are just in a kind of a strange situation. All right, before you go, what was, aside from the Saints looking for a coach, what was the biggest story at the Senior Bowl for the Saints?
That's a good question. I feel like all we've talked about is that the Saints are looking for a coach.
Right.
I feel like practice was such an afterthought. But, I mean, it's honestly, it's got to be the quarterback next. I mean, I know I just said, like, candidates may have not been focusing on the quarterback issue that much, but I guarantee you the front office is. Now, I can't tell you who the favorite is to be the quarterback next year. Logic would tell you it's Jameis Winston, but don't count out the Saints in trying to get some, big name free agent quarterback. People keep talking about it and then saying they don't have the money to do it, but I guarantee you, if they find the quarterback that they think is within their range to get, they will move heaven and earth to get that quarterback. Now, I don't know who it is, but I guarantee you that's what we're going to be talking about for the next month once a coach is hired. And that definitely was brought up a lot at the Senior Bowl. So once we get heavy into free agency, they'll definitely, I think, be exploring all their options.
She is Catherine Terrell of The Athletic. We appreciate it, Kat. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend.
Yep, anytime. You too.
Thanks. Be well. Make sure you follow Kat on Twitter as well at @Cat_Terrell. Does a great job covering the Saints. It's interesting. Everybody we've talked to this week who was in Mobile for the Senior Bowl, none of them talked about the Senior Bowl at all. I mean, this is, and it makes sense. First time in 16 years the Saints have been looking for a coach. Why would you be looking at what offensive lineman stood out in the one-on-one drills on Tuesday? You don't care. There's a way more formative decision that everybody is concerned with right now. And maybe the Saints will have an answer sooner than later. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. They do it all at GMFS Mortgage. Change your life today. You want to lower your monthly mortgage payment? They can help. You want to shorten the life of your mortgage? They can help. You want to skip a payment or two as you go through the closing process? GMFS Mortgage can help. Find the local loan officer nearest you. Just go to the website, tap loan officers right there at the top of the homepage. You'll find the officer nearest you, and they'll hold your hand, walk you through that process like they did with me and Erica a year ago. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, we're going to knock out a break. Jay Johnson in 45 minutes, start the LSU baseball coach. Looking forward to 2 weeks away from the opener, man. Unbelievable. 2 weeks away from LSU baseball. Please, God, let it warm up a smidge from this right now. For Muso's sake. I'm going to be watching at home regardless, but Muso's going to be freezing.
Very cold.
Yes, Muso's going to be freezing down the third baseline in the bleachers. You will probably, the metal will probably freeze to your tuchus. And, that's your fault, though, because,
worth it.
Not worth it.
Worth it.
At my age, not worth it. But for you, maybe. Not worth it. But anyway, we'll talk to Jay Johnson coming up here shortly. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, where earlier this week, the Baton Rouge General formally made their announcement about their partnership with Mary Bird Perkins. How exciting. The two great entities in our community, two great medical entities have teamed together to expand cancer care in Baton Rouge. brgeneral.org to learn more about the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. Again, no matter what type of care, comprehensive care that you're looking for, yes, they've got all the COVID-19 info you need. If you want info on the vaccine, you can certainly get that there. We mentioned if it's cancer care, if it's emergency services, if it's the Heart and Vascular Center, you can deliver your baby at the Baton Rouge General. If you're looking for a primary care physician, if you don't have one, or if it's surgery. We talk to you all the time about the Robotics Institute there and how the Mako robot and the other robotic surgery is transforming the way that people have surgery and recover from surgery. Learn more. brgeneral.org.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in stock with $2,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Shop now at BayouCDJR.com. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Wrapping up hour number 2, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
The Pro Bowl's this Sunday, February the 6th in Las Vegas, Nevada. 3 LSU Tigers will be there from the AFC. Tyrann Mathieu will be out there roaming the secondary. Jamar Chase was a Pro Bowler, but as you might imagine, he has bigger fish to fry, so he will not be there due to the Super Bowl. On the NFC side, Justin Jefferson will be catching passes. Devin White will be making tackles. White, a fill-in for Bobby Wagner, who is injured. On the hardwood last night, Naz Reid had 2 points. Slow night for Naz. Moving on.
Should
have stayed there. Emmett Williams in the G League for the Agua Caliente Clippers. 21 minutes off the bench, 2 of 5 shooting. Both of those made shots were from 3, though, from Emmett. So becoming a little bit of a stretch 4 there is Emmett Williams. 6 points on the night.
Hot water?
Hot water.
Get it?
Because agua caliente? Yeah, that's what it means.
Hot water.
Hot water. Really water hot, but yeah. 7 rebounds as well, so 6 and 7 for Emmett Williams. 2 assists and a steal. Really solid night. Sticking with the G League, Tremont Waters for the Wisconsin Herd. 38 minutes in the start, 9 of 20 from the floor, 21 points, 7 assists, 1 rebound, and 2 steals for Tremont. 21-7, really solid night there. On the golf course, LPGA Drive-On Championship update for you. Madeline Sackstrom fired a 1-under par 71 in the second round.
Anyway, Maddie.
Bit of an up-and-down day, though. 6 birdies, 5 bogeys.
Oh.
She's on to the weekend, 6 under after the 36 holes. Tied for 15th, 7 shots off the lead. Needs a big moving day to get back in contention. Austin Ernst also fired a 1-under 71 for her second round. 3 under par, the 36-hole mark, tied for 35th. 2 shots inside the current cut line, so she should also be on her way
Austin.
to the weekend. And that is Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, online at lmfj.com. Gentlemen, thrill her with a gift in the red box. It is the 4th, which means Valentine's Day is 10 days away. Hey, guys, don't screw it up. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. She will be thrilled with a gift in the red box. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, Bocage, Mall of Louisiana, Shreveport, Lake Charles, New Orleans. Check them out online, lmfj.com. You will always get the Lee Michaels experience, lmfj.com. All right, hour 3's next. I got my thoughts on the latest Saints coaching news, and I'm going to tell you who I want them to hire. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. It is 38 stinking degrees, but it's going to be 28 stinking degrees tonight. Way too cold, especially if you have drafty windows. If those windows have leaks, air leaks in them, you know what's happening. That cold air is getting in. The warm air from your heater is getting out. It's having to work overtime, and you are spending more money. Make your home more energy efficient. Energy efficient replacement windows. Energy Star windows from Relief Windows. It will lower your energy bills. You've heard Brandon Holly say in some instances they've had people go from $350 to $200 a month in their energy bills. It's crazy. In time, it's an investment that'll pay for itself. Lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. ReliefWindows.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Steve Lennox. NBA trade deadline comes next Thursday. Today, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting on a deal between the Clippers and Trailblazers. Clippers sending Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second-round pick to Portland. In exchange, Norman Powell and Robert Covington go to the Clippers. Brooklyn Nets, who have lost 6 in a row, will not have James Harden for tonight's road matchup in Utah against the Jazz. Harden is out with left hamstring tightness. WNBA, Phoenix Mercury announcing today they have signed veteran Tina Charles. Charles led the WNBA in scoring at over 23 per game last season with the Washington Mystics. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford touched on his relationship with head coach Sean McVay when talking with the media earlier today.
We got comfortable with each other very quickly. I've enjoyed working with him. It's been a blast. You know, obviously he demands that a lot out of me, and likewise, you know, the other way. So it's been fun to push each other and try to get the best out of each other week in and week out.
McVay 36, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor 38 will be the youngest Super Bowl head coaching matchup all time.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar and Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muse. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. If you're wondering where Theriot is, he was here at the very beginning of the show today. His daughters, Macy and Georgia, are on the Dunham girls soccer team. They're in the state playoffs, the second round. They had a game in New Iberia today, so we wish them good luck. But that's where Ryan is. So if you want to go back and hear Ryan's letter and Kick Rocks, we did that at the start of the show. You can catch it on demand at 1045ESPN.com. Of course, presented by Breck Golf. So thanks for being with us here. 1 hour to go. Jay Johnson, bottom of this hour, 2 weeks away from the official beginning of the Jay Johnson era. LSU will have first pitch opening day in 2 weeks from today. Cat Terrell was with us last hour. We kind of went through a lot of the reporting with the Saints coaching search. I kind of want to give you an opinion now. If you missed the latest, Doug Peterson has officially been named the Jaguars head coach. That happened this morning, Friday morning. He is officially now the guy in Jacksonville. Guys won a Super Bowl. Obviously has Louisiana ties, as we all know. He interviewed with the Saints over this past weekend and had a lot of support. And I think there was some appeal there. There was a lot of appeal because he's a quarterback guy. Remember, he had been with Andy Reid, both in Philly and with the Chiefs before he got the job. In Philly as the head coach, won a Super Bowl. And, you know, you're talking about just slightly more than a handful of coaches active in the NFL right now that have won a Super Bowl. So when you've climbed that mountain, there's going to be appeal. So there was appeal to Doug Peterson, but he got the Chiefs job. He got the Jacksonville job officially now. And there was some thought that maybe Byron Leftwich was going to be that guy in Jacksonville. Well, Leftwich might well be content to sit there and wait in Tampa to see if Bruce Arians retires. What if Bruce Arians retires this offseason or waits until after next year and retires in Tampa, and Leftwich is the guy there? That's a very natural succession there. And who knows, maybe that conversation's happened in Tampa. The Saints were granted permission to interview Byron Leftwich. Our buddy Mike Triplett reported that, as did Amy Just, that the Saints haven't yet and might not. So perhaps it tells you something else is there with Leftwich in Tampa. Yes, Brian Flores is a name out there, but we've talked about how that just seems like an improbability, if not impossibility, right now with that lawsuit pending. I mean, he's suing the NFL and 3 teams. So how can you possibly make that hire right now? I mean, thankfully I'm not the one that has to make the hire. Whenever Sean Payton first walked away last week, Flores is one of the names we talked about, and I would have been pumped about Brian Flores. I think as a coach, I'm still pumped about the idea of Brian Flores. He won in Miami. He's got 15 years under Bill Belichick, where that was really his only input. You want to create culture. I mean, that's a guy at 40 who maybe you get on the upswing of his career, and he could be here for a decade or longer. I mean, I love that idea. I just don't know that it's even possible now with the lawsuit pending. So you kind of look at your in-house candidates, Allen, Rizzi, and then I kind of count Aaron Glenn, although he's in Detroit right now. But there's a very obvious choice there with Dennis Allen. He's been a head coach. He's been a successful defensive coordinator. He was the interim head coach when Sean Payton was out with COVID. Like, that's the guy that everyone understands is the prohibitive favorite. The name that whenever Sean Payton first announced he was walking away, that we discussed that until today hadn't come up, is Eric Bieniemy. But now it has. And if you've listened to this show, I've talked about Bieniemy for a while now. I am for several years now because of how the coaching cycles have gone in the last few off seasons, how many interviews he has gotten and has never gotten a job. And I think there's this tendency to lean directly to race. I don't know that's it. I don't know that I necessarily believe that that's the sole reason. I don't know the sole reason. I mean, I think that could certainly be a part of it somewhere in the recesses of people's minds. I don't know. Maybe he's not a good interviewer. Or maybe he has the luxury of knowing that he's an in-demand candidate and can wait for the right job, not just the next job. Maybe it's got to be the right situation for him to leave KC, where he has so much leverage. And I got news for you. If he goes back to KC, they're going to win a whole bunch of games again next year with Mahomes and with Tyreek Hill and with Kelsey and with Clyde. They're going to win a bunch. And next year, he'll be in the same situation if he doesn't get a job this offseason. Or maybe the opportunity to go to New Orleans, a stable organization with ownership, president, GM, talk about alignment all the time. That exists in New Orleans. Great culture, a franchise that's won consistently over the last 2 decades. Maybe that's just the spot. Maybe that's where Bieniemy ultimately says that if I can get that job, I'll take it. But I don't know. But with Peterson out, here's what I started to consider today. Doug Peterson spent 7 years with Andy Reid. He was with him in Kansas City. He was with him in Philly. When he got fired in Philly and then got the Kansas City job, Peterson went with Andy Reid to KC. So it's 7 years. He was the OC, by the way. He was the offensive coordinator for Andy Reid in Kansas City, and then Peterson got the head coaching job in Philly. We all know he went on to win a Super Bowl there. Eric Bieniemy has been with Andy Reid for 9 seasons. The last handful have been as the OC. Could Bieniemy be following a same path as Peterson? Essentially. Guy who was there on staff under Andy Reid, had this really creative explosive offense, as a play caller, known kind of as a quarterback guy as well. Could this be his opportunity? Like Peterson got his in Philly and won a Super Bowl? Maybe. For me, I think this decision comes down to two names. It's Dennis Allen and it's Eric Bieniemy. For me, I think that's it. Because Dennis Allen trumps Darren Rizzi, Aaron Glenn, and again, I think Flores would absolutely be there except for the lawsuit. I don't know that I can ignore that. I don't know how you can make that hire with the lawsuit pending. So I'm just, for that reason solely, I'll eliminate Flores in my mind. Although nothing formally like that has come from the Saints. So what it comes down to is two coaches who both have a very clear benefit and a very clear negative against them. Dennis Allen, you know the benefit. We've talked about it. You maintain the structure, right? All the things we've talked about. You keep Pete Carmichael. You probably re-sign Jameis Winston. Dennis Allen, second head coaching opportunity. Knows the organization. The defense has been amazing, so you maintain your defense and everything that's been there. You build around it. You re-sign Jameis. You hope that he's healthy, and then you start to build on where you thought you were going to be when you were 5-2 and Jameis went down. Okay. The downside is, if Dennis Allen is the head coach, you're not attracting a top-tier quarterback. We know that. And there could always be that question about the offensive side. If you hire Eric Bieniemy, you absolutely have the opportunity to go after a big-name quarterback in the trade market or in free agency. With Eric Bieniemy, you have the possibility to approach Russell Wilson. You have the opportunity to approach Aaron Rodgers. You can go into this trade market and you're in an attractive spot for a quarterback who might want to work with that guy, who's been with Mahomes for the last handful of years, who's been in KC, who's helped become the architect of what's been the most high-powered offense. Bieniemy's first year as OC was the year in 2018 when Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and they had the third highest scoring season in NFL history. They lost the AFC Championship game that year to Brady and the Patriots. But all they've done with Bieniemy as OC is go to 4 straight conference championship games. I mean, you are going to be appealing with that guy. The downside is you uproot the culture. You uproot the structure. You uproot everything that you built so diligently for the last 15, 16 years. Now, it's important to mention the negatives that I've posed with both of these coaches are not deal breakers, and they're not insurmountable. Eric Bieniemy could come in and develop great culture, or he could maintain everything we've talked about. Like, what's to say he wouldn't step in and just keep all of that? He's been in a winning culture in Kansas City where they expect to win. And they've got guys that seem to genuinely like each other and play hard for each other. And he's had good assistants and all that sort of stuff. And similarly, maybe Dennis Allen is brilliant and hires a great offensive coach and they're able to bring in the right guy and they go into this draft and maybe they nail it with their draft pick, or maybe they do develop Jameis into the potential that we all think that some of us think that he's got. I mean, again, it's not insurmountable. But for me, I'll give you I think it's gonna be one of those guys, and I think the Saints would do very well with either of them. If I had to pick today, I would pick Eric Bieniemy. And I'll tell and for me, the answer why is very easy. I think the Saints could continue winning a lot of games the way that they're constructed right now. I believe it. I think they can win a lot of games. I don't think you're going to win a championship without, and we've seen it, without elite-level quarterback play. And I believe Eric Bieniemy, as your coach, gives you the best opportunity to deliver that. Maybe that's not fair to Dennis Allen or Pete Carmichael if he were retained or whatever it may be, but for me, I'm more interested in watching the Saints win another Super Bowl. I think to get there, you've got to have the elite quarterback, the high-powered offense, and I think the best chance to get there is with Eric Bieniemy as your coach. So if he comes in and interviews this weekend and he crushes the interview, I would like to see him get the job. That would be my pick. But I want to be very clear again. if they settle with Dennis Allen, I don't believe, let me reword that because I don't want you to perceive I'm saying they're settling. If ultimately they hire Dennis Allen, I think Dennis Allen would do a tremendous job here. I really genuinely do. And I think could be a championship-winning coach in New Orleans as well. But there's a bigger question with what is the biggest question in the NFL, the biggest seat that you have to fill. That's a bigger question mark with Dennis Allen than it would be with Eric Bieniemy. Hopefully we have an answer soon, and we'll certainly talk about it as it develops here. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Oh, they're closed right now as they head into to the weekend, but they'll reopen on Monday. Hormone replacement therapy, ideal protein diet. That's a ketogenic medical-grade weight loss program. Learn more at theantiagingclinics.com. And, gentlemen, Valentine's Day, we're 10 days away. Remember, from the 10th to the 14th, you buy $100 in gift cards, they'll give you $25 in gift cards for free. Again, that's just from the 10th through the 14th as a little thank you for Valentine's Day. At the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. All right, quick break. Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology. What does it say about LSU? And a quick thought on LSU Vandy. That's coming up after the break. Jay Johnson in 15 minutes. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
The official banking partner of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans is Hancock Whitney Bank. You can find them online at HancockWhitney.com, HancockWhitney.com. Of course, they've got their mobile banking app as well. Paid my bills earlier today on my Hancock Whitney Bank app, HancockWhitney.com. That's where you can learn more about Hancock Whitney, where you can find the financial center nearest you, HancockWhitney.com. Even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, you know this. You know this about Hancock Whitney because they have locations all over the Gulf Coast. You can find that location near you at HancockWhitney.com, or you can always have your entire banking relationship online. And their call center, you'll actually talk to a person when you get their call center at Hancock Whitney, which is always refreshing when you talk to a human on the phone in 2022. HancockWhitney.com, member FDIC for Hancock Whitney Bank, 120 years. Your dreams, our mission. That's Hancock Whitney Bank. HancockWhitney.com for Hancock Whitney Bank.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz.
We've been going hard for too long. Can't get enough what it's you on. Really ain't nothing I could drop that. Wake up in the morning, make it all day. It's nothing.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust want to help make 2022 as easy on you as possible by covering your car payments for an entire year. Other great prizes like 6 months of free car washes from Benny's Car Wash. Visit 1045ESPN.com and click on our free car payments for a year sweepstakes to register.
Will Wade was on the Unfiltered Boot Up podcast and talked about NIL.
I mean, you guys know how I feel about our facilities. We need a lot of work with our facilities. I told the administration, I'll say it publicly, I said, guys, we got to get the NIL figured out before the facilities. If you got to go to the same donors for NIL and the facilities, I want the NIL. We can worry about the facilities later on. Like, that's how important this is going to be.
Ask and you shall receive. We mentioned this earlier, but GameCoin, which many of you know that I'm a board member for GameCoin, did today formally announce that they have signed NIL deals with the entire men's and women's basketball teams, all of them. Like every player. Now, this includes the very exciting part, obviously, for GameCoin, is that means all of these players will onboard onto the platform when it's live later this year, which means all of their NFTs and their fan tokens will all be part of the platform, which is awesome for usership and also for promotion and everything. But for Will Wade and for LSU basketball, it's amazing when you can go and recruit and say, look, we have businesses in this community that are doing deals with the entire program, men's and women's. That's so helpful for Will Wade and for Kim Mulkey. So attaboy to David Mailer and the GameCoin crew for getting that done. I know they did it through with the help of Matchpoint, who's a partner on that one. So that's something they worked on for a long time. To hammer out all the details of that specifically. But, I mean, Will Wade literally said yesterday, I'd rather you get NIL deals than work on facilities right now. That's how important it is. And boom, there's one. And we'll elaborate a bit more on NIL.
You got to go all in on NIL at this point. I mean, it is what it is, and we're going to go all in. When we had a meeting last night, and it's here in football, and it's going to pick up in basketball in the spring when it comes to transfers and retaining kids that you have, and we've got to embrace it. You know, there's a basketball program now that's got, basically, they're going to spend $5 million a year in NIL. There's a basketball program right now that's got that. Now, we're not going to get that, but we've got to, we're going to have to compete with that.
Did he say a basketball program's getting $5 million in NIL? Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
And Jimbo Fisher, meanwhile, is so pissed that anyone would insinuate
didn't
that
happen,
they spend money.
It did. It's garbage. It's clowns. It never happened. Hypocrisy. Never happened.
Now, the hypocrisy thing is real. I mean, I don't know if you caught the subtle threat that Jimbo threw out. It was like, I know what some of these people have been doing for years. Well, yeah, I mean, because you worked for Nick and you saw how it's done. Why do you think Nick and Jimbo and Kirby, why do you think they know how to do it? Because they learn from the best. Some are just really able to do it. Something else LSU announced today is they did a deal with Fanatics where players will be able to buy an LSU jersey with the player's name on it, and the player will be compensated for that. So if you want a number 8 Ojulari or a number 80 Besh jersey, an official jersey, You can now buy that at lsusports.net. So it's phenomenal. It's why forever? Like why did everyone in the state wear a number 9 Joe Burrow or a number 7 for Tyrann Mathieu or number 3 for Odell Beckham, or you all know throughout the years, and those guys never profited from it? This is a good thing. This is a very, very good thing. Now, specifically with LSU basketball, they are on the road to take on Vanderbilt. And Will Wade gave an update on Xavier Pinson, who gave you 16 minutes against Ole Miss, and it was clear that he was not himself. And Will Wade delivered a little bad news.
He's about 70%. We got to get him closer to 85, 90% before we put him back out there. So I don't anticipate playing him Saturday. If it costs us a game Saturday, it costs us a game Saturday. But we've got to have him back healthy and as healthy as he can be and as quickly as we can do it. And so we got to get him back right. If we do that, I think all the other stuff will fall into place. I mean, we're like 15-1 when he's healthy and ready to go, or 14-1 or whatever the number is. And so we don't have another one of him. The other one of him's got a torn ACL. So we've got to get him back healthy and get him back right. And if we do that, we'll be fine.
The torn ACL, of course, is Adam Miller. It's not an excuse. It's a reality. I mean, losing Xavier Pinson has caused a domino effect. When everybody moves up a chair, it's caused a domino effect that's been a problem. Now, that does not excuse getting down 24 points in the first half on your home floor to a bad Ole Miss team. That's effort and concentration and focus and all that stuff. You know, LSU's going to be favored in this game against Vanderbilt. I'm looking at ESPN Basketball Power Index. They give LSU a 75% chance of winning this game on the road. Vanderbilt's got a good player in Scottie Pippen. Really good player in Scottie Pippen. Vanderbilt's not very good. They're 11-10 overall. They're 3-6 in the league. 2 of their 3 wins are against Georgia, who's the worst team in the league. LSU should win this game. They should. LSU should go on the road and beat Vanderbilt. But they should have beaten Ole Miss as well. So I'm not making any guarantees about anything with LSU, this LSU team moving forward, until they prove they can play consistent basketball and start to string together wins. But Will's right. You got to get Xavier Pinson back healthy. And you know, right now, if you're looking at bracketology, Lenardi's latest bracketology has LSU as a 6 seed. That probably surprises many of you because they've lost 5 of 6, but it goes to show you how strong the resume is, even with the recent struggles. So you have plenty of runway left as long as you don't keep suffering bad losses. Go win these games against bad teams, and you're going to have the opportunities for impressive committee wins ahead. Lenardi does have Auburn as the top overall seed, and he's got Florida as the first team out. 6 SEC teams in the field in all. Among the first 4 out, he's got both Florida and Mississippi State as the first 2 of the first 4 out. So 6 are in. The first 2 out, he's got his Florida and Mississippi State. So you've got as many as 8 SEC teams right there on the cusp of being a tournament team. If you're wondering, again, he's got LSU as the LSU is the 6th seed in the Midwest, taking on Davidson in the first round. So plenty of room for LSU to continue to increase their tournament potential, what their draw may be. But as of now, Lenardi's got LSU as a 6 in Fort Worth, taking on Davidson. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson, 2 weeks from the opening of baseball season. The skipper will join us next on AFR.
AFR.
Well, you've heard from Hunt Palmer all afternoon out at Rouse's. That's the Rouse's right there on Burbank and Lee, right there on campus. But no matter where you are around the greater Baton Rouge area, really all over Louisiana, there's a Rouse's Market near you. The one we shop at is the Long Farm location right off of Airline by Behringer, or Behringer Farm by Antioch, actually, is where it is right there. And we're there pretty much every weekend. Rouse's has an amazing selection. Great king cakes. By the way, if you're out of town listening or watching on YouTube, they ship king cakes. So you can go to rouses.com. That's rouses.com and get the king cake shipped to you. Or if you got family who lives out of town, go to rouses.com and ship it to them. Rouses.com. Great selection. We always like to go to the deli and pick up lunch on Sundays or after church. On the weekends, is a great spot. If you want wine or beer, liquor, great selection there as well at Rouse's Markets. Find the location nearest you. Walk in any of the Rouse's locations. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new Jeep Gladiator Rubicons in stock with $2,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Shop now at BayouCDJR.com. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
You guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, Muse, it's February, bro. It's February.
So?
I mean, I'm not, well, you know what?
So?
When it's going to be 28 degrees tonight, dreaming of June in Omaha actually is a pretty warm feeling.
Isn't it?
I'm sure it is for Jay Johnson as well, who joins us on the show. Coach, thanks for the time. How are you?
You got it. Awesome to be on with you.
No, it's our pleasure. So 2 weeks from the opener, I'm curious how candid you'll be with this, but where you hope your team would be 2 weeks out and where your team is 2 weeks out, is there a gap? What is the gap there?
Yeah, good question. I think when I look at it, I think I'm not surprised maybe with where we're at. I think the positives have been buy-in from the players in terms of work ethic and getting prepared. I think we've improved in the week that we've had a full team practice. Looking forward to scrimmaging this weekend to kind of keep exposing those things so I can answer that question better. And we'll use all 14 of these days to keep getting ourselves ready, but mostly positive, and players deserve a lot of credit for that.
You know, Coach, we got so used to the way Paul Maneri did things. He was here for so long, and typically he would use the first part of the season just to tinker with lineups and move players around. So when SEC came around, he felt like he had his best guys out there. How do you approach it at this point? Like, do you want your starting 9 there opening day? No, that's the lineup that you hope you're taking into Omaha in June?
I mean, that would be great, but I don't think it's realistic. And the reason it's not is because 18 to 22-year-olds change, day to day, game to game. And so what we're trying to do is giving them a template to move them towards consistency. And when you can get that with most of your players, then you end up finding that best team maybe a little earlier, a little sooner in the schedule or the season, and can kind of set yourself up. But knowing players at this age and strengths and weaknesses, I anticipate it changing. My philosophy on it is we need to do what's best that day to win. And that's what we'll do. And in the process, win enough games, hopefully, and find out our best team while we're winning those games. So I think that's probably the ideal, but there'll be some mixing and matching as we go here, I think.
I think everyone has talked so much about what the expectation is for the offense. Let me ask you about your defense. Are there any guys that maybe are standing out, maybe pushing to win a job that isn't the spot where we maybe assumed someone else would have a spot locked down?
Well, I'll try to answer that as best you can because I don't know what everybody assumes relative to our players. But I'm pleased with the depth. I think that's probably the strength of our team, both on the mound and on the position player side of it. Those 4 All-American type players get a lot of credit, and deservedly so. I think there's a bigger story to our team, and then there's a number of guys that can make a positive contribution. Somebody that I think's improved a lot from last year is Jordan Thompson, both offensively and defensively. As we get him back to full strength and get him out there, I think Tiger fans are going to be pleased with what they see out of him. We've, moved some guys around positionally. I mean, Dylan Cruz got most of his reps in right field. We've been playing him in center field. He's been doing a nice job at that. Cade Beloso, down year last year, has really, taken a bunch of quality at bats and a guy that we feel like can move the offense and set those kind of superstar players up for even more success. And how we're kind of breaking it down is how do we get the biggest gap between runs scored and runs saved and put those pieces together. And like I said, still a work in progress because we got good players on our team and more than 9 that can do something to help us out.
Jay Johnson is our guest. So you mentioned Cade Beloso. I think that's one guy we just assume, okay, well, he's a candidate to DH. Or is that a guy that you might give some run at first base? And then the question is, so what do you do with Trey Morgan, right? So, these are the questions that you got to answer to get your best 9 on the field.
Yeah, correct. And that's kind of what we've been doing. I'll be honest, I think looking at the deeper that we go, it's really difficult for me to want to move Trey off first base because he has some special skills there, especially from the run saved part of digging and picking on bad throws. Now, I think Cade is a capable first baseman. Trey is obviously going to be in the lineup. So if we feel like it's best to float him out to the outfield for a particular pitching matchup where we maybe have more to gain offensively by doing that and maybe getting somebody else in that DH spot, then we'll do it. But I think at the outset, you'll probably see more of Trey at first base.
Yeah. So to be clear, you're saying about Trey maybe going to the outfield, not Cade, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that would be if both of them are on the field positionally, that would be the move.
Well, that'd be something to see. I know it's something we've talked about here for a bit. A couple more minutes here with Jay Johnson as the Tigers are 2 weeks out from the opener. I do want to ask about the pitching staff. I'll come back to that in a second. But before I forget, basically every coach has been asked about NIL this week. Will Wade talked about it, even saying NIL is more important than facilities. LSU had a big event this week, as we all know. With respect to college baseball, where do you think LSU baseball NIL is with respect to what else you see around the landscape of college baseball right now?
I think ahead in some ways and behind in a few others, but I think we're working to get it right and get to a good spot. And I have no doubt that we will get there based on the support that we have from our program and the community. The event the other night, which I took part in, was outstanding. I think it was educational for all the business people in the community. And I 1,000% agree with Coach Wade. The winning is based on personnel, and the personnel and most important personnel is our players, obviously. And so the most important factors in getting them here are changing in terms of college athletics, and specifically in college baseball, where we're not just competing with the other programs in the SEC, we're competing against a Major League Baseball draft. And so my hope is this takes off for most of the roster the way it is for some of our top guys, and I think that's something that can really, really be advantageous for us. And I like where we're positioned and how it's moving right now.
A couple more minutes here, Coach. We did talk a few weeks back with Jason Kelly, and we kind of talked about what the rotation may look like. And I know you're going to get this one all the time, but it seems like there's a commitment to letting Fontenot have the attempt to be the front of the weekend guy, and so many good arms we saw last year with Coleman and Floyd and Edwards. You're bringing in guys like we know that Riley Cooper comes in and Schaefer. I mean, I think your challenge is a role. So are you any closer to how much closer are you to figuring out those roles today than you were 2 weeks ago?
I think we're in a closer spot. I think I'm dead serious when I talk about the next 2 weeks being critical for lining up for how we're going to start out. I think the strength in the pitching staff is the depth. I think there's a few guys that have kind of emerged as guys that we can extend, that have the ability to get left-handed and right-handed hitters out and do it multiple times through the order, which that's kind of the criteria if you're going to have a true starting rotation. So I like that. I like the fact that we have a bunch of different type of guys with what we would call kind of outlier stuff relative to their breaking balls, release points, attack angles that create deception for hitters, that those guys might be very effective in the middle of a game if the opponent isn't prepared for them. Like they might be able to cut through 2 or 3 innings relatively quickly. And then there's a couple guys on the back end that we feel good about. So there's a lot of moving parts to that, but I like where we're headed in terms of getting it structured.
Hey, before you go, have you given any thought yet to like the pageantry of opening day at the box, what it's going to be like for you putting on the jersey for the first time as the skipper at the box?
Yeah, so fired up. I mean, if I'm going to be truthful with you, it's exciting, but I try to practice what I preach, and that's a very stay in the moment, what's important now, task at hand for our players, because that's the only way we're going to get them to peak performance. And so our staff, it's important that we model that as well. But very excited about it. Here, and keep putting in the work, which we will, and I think we're going to all be excited about opening night and all teams coming together and improving. Can't wait to get there.
He is Jay Johnson. We'll be watching, and many of us will be there along the way, and we're excited about the baseball season. Thanks for the time, Coach.
All right, thanks, Matt. Take care.
It's our pleasure. Jay Johnson, very matter of fact, he did give you a little nugget there about Trey Morgan maybe going to the outfield. Not permanently, but on specific days where if he feels like it's advantageous to get Morgan and Beloso in the lineup, maybe Cade goes to first, Trey goes to the outfield. That's such a fascinating topic about Trey Morgan because he is so good defensively at first base. He is so good defensively at first base. And because he's left-handed, it's the only spot on the infield that he's going to play. But could he be a center fielder? Well, you heard Coach there say Dylan Cruz has moved to center, which I think we all assumed was going to happen anyway. Gio played center a lot last year, but there was a revolving door. We saw Bianco out in center at times last year. I mean, why are you laughing, Muse? It happened.
I forgot about that. I honestly forgot about that. He made some nice grabs out there in center field, Drew did.
He made some nice grabs that would have been more routine for more skilled center field. I think that's fair to say.
The out was recorded.
The out was recorded, yes.
He fell on Gavin Dugas, which was not.
That was not good.
That was not advantageous.
That was not good. It was not good. But yeah, I mean, a lot of y'all crushed me last year when I said, Morgan's future in the pros is probably in the outfield, but it is like you put a super athletic guy like that in the outfield. Like you put Wes Ray at first base. You put Sykes Orvis at first base. You know what I mean? You don't put Trey Morgan at first base. You put you put Big Poppy at first base.
Yes.
The big fat guy that sticks
baseman.
Needles in his ass. You put him at first base just so he can stand on the bag, catch the ball, and slug homers. That's your job. Anyway. But Morgan's a sensational defensive first baseman. It's just not a premium defensive position. So you put him somewhere else in the line. Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to watch this team because Muse told me you're gonna go sit out there tomorrow and watch him practice.
I'll be out there tomorrow. Yeah,
It's gonna go sit and freeze his ass off tomorrow to watch practice. Like I wouldn't even go watch a full football practice in the cold, or maybe
I wouldn't do that either.
But you go watch baseball practice. I'm really excited for this team because the way they had so many young guys last year that Paul and Nolan had recruited in that are clearly very talented. I mean, look, Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan. I mean, you get Kay Doty back. I mean, there's so many guys. Look at those young pitchers, man. With guys like Floyd and Coleman that came on so strongly, you've got a really good nucleus returning. But the way Jay came in and supplemented this team, you add Barry, and that, I mean, my goodness, we even talked to him about McManus, which I'd like to, but maybe next time he's here we will. Who's probably going to be your starting catcher. You know, you add the arms that they did, Raiselman, who's running it up there in the upper 90s, who could be your closer, your back end of the game guy. You've added some lefties, Schaefer from Southeastern. You brought in Riley Cooper, the lefty, who's with him at Arizona. I mean, they have all the pieces. But the reality is you don't win in Omaha if you don't have your stud at the front of the rotation. So you've got to find that guy, whoever that is. It's your Alex Lang, your Cole Henry. I'd say Aaron Nola, but I think we understand Aaron's the greatest pitcher that's ever. Ben McDonald's the most talented pitcher LSU's ever had. Aaron Nola had the greatest career that a pitcher ever had at LSU. Like, you got to find that guy. I'm not saying it has to have that type of career, but it's got to have that type of season where you can give him the ball against anybody else's best and go win on that day. But the fact that we're even having that conversation shows what kind of potential this team has. So it's going to be really fun to watch them get out there and grind out some wins. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. The newest location in Denham Springs is now open. So, with 17 locations all across Louisiana, the newest location, of course, is in Denham Springs. You can find it at ShawBillsTire.com. You can shop tires online. You can schedule service online at their easy-to-use and navigate website, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, we'll knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back with a little what we learned here today. Give you maybe a final thought on LSU basketball as we head into the weekend. We appreciate you for hanging out with us here on this Friday edition of AFR. I know it's strange not having Theriot around to basically just yard sale the show as we head into the weekend, but it's been a good one anyway. One more to go. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, look, I want to remind you, we are 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from the Dream Day Foundation event over at Clegg's Nursery. Been telling you about it. So the Dream Day Foundation, Clegg's, is having a scavenger hunt at the Segan Lane location on the 19th. So we're 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from tomorrow. It'll be the the Clegg's Nursery on Segan, and you can register at dreamdayfoundation.org. So it'll be a scavenger hunt at the Clegg's on Segan with tons of great prizes. It's family-friendly, kid-friendly. So go register your team. It's $25 a person. DreamDayFoundation.org. Look, if you go to the website, you'll see it right there. DreamDayFoundation.org for the scavenger hunt. All of the particulars are there about the path and the whole thing that you take and everything that should be fine. If you want all the info, it's right there. Again, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., DreamDayFoundation.org, all benefiting the Dream Day Foundation. The scavenger hunt is coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow, so register online at DreamDayFoundation.org.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
6G. Network.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR. Got to remind you about DraftKings, y'all. The big game is a week from Sunday. You know DraftKings is front and center. Now live in Louisiana with mobile sports betting. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. Just in time for the big game. Y'all, make sure that you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. You got to make sure you got the difference. It's the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So there's two, and you can't connect the original DraftKings app like with your one account, but it's the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, use the promo code Baton Rouge, and you get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 or more, and you can win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code Baton Rouge this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget like Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP. That's so much easier than having to say it all. Somebody actually texted me on the show text line. I was like, hey, why don't you just record yourself playing this? I was like, step ahead of you, bro. Already did it. We'll wrap up with what we learned here in just a quick second. I did also want to say before we skedaddle here today, today is National Wear Red Day, and I will take this liberty because it's my show and I can. But I am wearing a red shirt today, and a big shout out actually to Jen Hale, Fox Sports, and everybody knows Jen. But Jen had cardiomyopathy. She shared that very openly with us here a few years ago and very openly on social media. And I saw her post earlier in the week that Friday, that today was National Wear Red Day, which reminded me to make sure I had my red on and to raise awareness for congenital heart disease. And you all know that my son Drew is a two-time member of the Zipper Club. So I made a post earlier today, but I wear red for Drew, and to Drew and all the members of the Zipper Club who've gone through that, to parents who've had to hand their child over to a doctor to let them do that and to have to just wait helplessly. It's a devastatingly miserable feeling. But because of so many amazing organizations, because of the advances in science, because of people who continue to commit to awareness and research and new practices for how to make it through and to find cures and surgical procedures to help kiddos and people, honestly, of all ages who deal with congenital heart disease or heart issues. Kids like Drew and so many others have a chance. And I'm forever grateful for that because my kiddo's here because of the great work of so many over so many years before he came along. So to everybody who's a member of the Zipper Club, shout out to you today. And to anybody certainly who has lost a loved one due to congenital heart disease. Our condolences, and the fight goes on so that future generations can have the promise of a tomorrow. So a happy National Wear Red Day, y'all. Donate to Congenital Heart Disease Foundations if you can, or family, or just if it's not an organization, maybe a family in need that has to relocate for a surgery or for care or something like that. There's plenty of them that need it. So thanks to everybody. Okay, we are wrapping up here on a Friday edition of AFR. Muse, what did you learn today?
The Saints could have a new coach early next week.
Oh, God. Who do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be Dennis Allen.
Yeah, you're probably right. Paul, what did you learn today?
Mattress Mac placed his largest bet ever on the Bengals.
And what did you learn, Matt?
$4.7 million.
That's a good change.
That's big time. Brian Harsin. If he's going to be fired, it's going to be today. If he's the coach Monday, he'll stay the coach. We'll see.
AFR.
All right, y'all, we're getting on down the road. Let me remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. That is Michelli Weighing and Measurement, celebrating 75 years in business this year in 2022. Check them out online. I really want you to pay attention, man. There's more places that you go. I want you to pay attention when you see scales and measurement devices and things like that. See if you see that green and blue Michelli logo. It's pretty cool to see a lot of you sending me pictures of them in the wild from the scale at the airport or at the UPS store or wherever it may be. Listen, they are our nation's leading distributor of scales, but it's not just scales. If you go to its calibration of so many devices, if you go to the website, you can see all the services that they offer. ISO 17025 calibration is available as well. They have their track system, which allows you free 24/7, 365 access to your calibration certificates, your accreditation certificates. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement online at Michelli.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning